Man, one of these days I won't accidentally show you my face during the opening credits. There's too many buttons. There's too many goddamn buttons. Ah! So hi everybody, welcome to the Monday Method. I'm Bright Kelly, and I am your host for the evening. So for newcomers, and as always on Monday we get a few of those, and today a few more than usual because our boy Antonio comes bearing gifts. But hi, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Antonio Greco is our guest tonight, and we're going to be bringing him on in a little bit. He's on standby, waiting and ready, but as always, I hang out with you guys one-on-one, and we talk a little bit about the show, sometimes to update you guys on what's going on here in the Brightosphere. Newcomers, our diehards in the chat are called the Lamplighters. That's my crew, that's my people. I don't use terms like fan club because that's stupid, and I don't believe in I don't know, it just sounds egotistical and dumb to act like it's a fan club when the involvement in Twitch is so extreme, when we have so much going on with each other, when we talk so much, when we interact so much. You know, it doesn't feel like fans standing off stage at a show. But a little bit about me, because you don't know. I'm Bright. I sing for an alternative rock band called The Great Enough, and I have a solo project under my own name, Bright Kelly. All those links are, well, actually, let's bring those links in. Let's put my frame up so you guys can even see those. Okay, there you go. So everything's Bright Kelly 19 on all the social stuff, and everything is at brightkelly.me as well. And you guys can always check with my tech bard in the chat. But we call ourselves the Lamplighters, this crew, because our goal is to put light into the world, not to put dark into the world, not to fuck around like assholes and hurt people or whatever. And that light comes with a sense of community. I sing for a band called The Great Enough. Check that out. Check out my solo project. I'm on Bandcamp, Spotify, all that crap. I've gone viral once or twice in my life. Done some cool stuff. I've opened for some bands you guys have heard of, and I'm gonna do a song for you guys just to give you a sense of who I am before we bring Antonio on and make my show all about him for a while. So this is a tune that my people seem to like a lot, that I play once in a while. It's called Phantom Heart. I don't like where that capo's sitting, but let's try that from the top. Henry Higgins, all the way from Scotland, man. There's just something about you, something supernatural I don't understand. If there were 1,000 people surrounding you, I would know you by the heart you hold in your hand. You said, I will not give you another chance. You will not use me to lay your plans. Stay your hand and stand apart. Baby, don't start. If I love you, say you will. Love me with your phantom heart. If I hold my breath until you love me with your phantom heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not all love has started neighbors, but the girl next door's not what I'm looking for. So bed as you're able. I still look to you in hope, and I can't seem to let go. And I know there's a better offer at every turn, a sweeter song to speed your journey. Don't you understand? Say the word, I'll put a ring upon your hand. If I love you, say you will. Love me with your phantom heart. If I hold my breath until you love me with your phantom heart, yeah. If I spoke for days and every word was true, would you love me with your phantom heart? 'Cause I stay lonely till you do. You love me with your phantom heart. We're closer now. If the devil's in it, just take a bow and get out. If you don't, if you love me, say you will. You love me with your phantom heart now. If I hold my breath, until you love me with your phantom heart now. Oh, if I spoke for days and every word was true, would you love me with your phantom heart? 'Cause I'll stay lonely till you do. Till you love me with your phantom heart. Yeah. I just need you, baby. I just need you, baby. Would you love me with your phantom heart now? I just need you, baby. I just need you, baby. So love me with your phantom heart. There you go, guys. Now you know a little bit about me if you didn't already. Appreciate it. Streamlabs is kind of a mother sometimes. Oh, by the way, I was talking to Antonio earlier today, and he wanted to make sure that you guys knew whether or not you had to behave yourselves. You do not. You can say whatever the fuck you want in my chat. I don't care. We are not safe for work here in Lamplighter Land. Speaking of Lamplighter Land, if you dig the vibe, if you dig what we are, if you dig what we do, if you dig our incredibly supportive, open community, we do in fact have merch. This is an example of the Lamplighter merch, and it has the benefit of saying that it's from Gritty City, USA, which represents Philadelphia, and for those of you who don't know, that's where Antonio is from as well. I do have a hydrate command. I do. There is a hydrate command in my chat. My people have made me drink almost a gallon of water in one show. And actually, would you mind grabbing me that from the fridge? Let's just see what happens. It's a thing. It actually will say what we say when we need me to drink is "Hail Hydrate." So yeah, that's how you hydrate me. It's 50 bright bucks to hydrate me. And real quick before we watch a little piece of video today, there you go. Hail Hydrate.
Redeem hydrate.
Is that? Oh my God! How many hydrates just came in?
3.
Okay, well, let's call them out by name. Let's see. Doc Rock, the Gear Guru, guitar aficionado, amp aficionado, guy who occasionally loans me gear. This is for you.
Just 2.
And Joe Maskey, tech bard extraordinaire, the moderator of tonight's chat. That's for you. And then if you guys want, you can meet my wife real quick, because I'm married like an old person. You want to just like duck your face in and say hi? Oh, good Lord. And for the wife, waterboarding me on stream, says Henry.
good way, though.
This is Mel, everybody. She's my wife, and this is what I bought to make sure that I drank enough water.
My name is now officially wife, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just I call her Wifington. I'm mad that your name on Twitch isn't Wifington.
Who is the real space uncle?
The real space uncle is I don't know, but they just said hi to you.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that might be Antonio. I'm not sure. I didn't actually check what his is, but I did not, or he's one of their followers. In any case, yeah, that is Antonio. That's what I thought. Dude, I got there. I figured it out. There's a lot of new faces today. We're doing our best. All right. We're going to watch a fun video together, and at the end of that video, we're going to bring Antonio on. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to have some fun together, and plot twist, you know what, man? That space uncle's looking pretty sus. Get him. Or don't. I don't know. But anyway, let's watch something together. This will be fun. Let me pull up a thing for you guys.
Say hello to Crane M2, the world's most flexible handheld gimbal, designed to fit any lightweight camera system. Silky smooth footage has never been easier. Just snap in your camera, balance, and start shooting. It's summertime, which means egg sandwiches by the lake and family picnics and Scrabble and... Oh, come on! Who are we kidding? We've got a winner for McAfee's Most Dangerous Celebrity of 2018 in today's TMC, the McAfee Chronicles.
You believe these are your children, but I am the only family you've got left. So choose our family, our people, or these parasites. Choose, Natar. Choose!
Inside the cube. From the outside, the cover still looks like that. The inside now isn't a secret anymore. A variety of textures and colors and the option of printing your logo at no extra cost. White Leaf Premium. Cube.
What if we go to Nashville for a weekend? Visit the Hall of Fame? Walk down Music Row?
Or we could go to your parents' cabin. It's closer and less expensive. How would we even afford that?
While we're gone, we'll rent the house on Airbnb. My coworker does it all the time to earn extra money while she's traveling.
Do make your team better. Your organization, your world. Everything comes together when the group shares a goal. Do what matters.
Well, hopefully we get the delay sorted out, guys. It is not from my end. I can see all the data from my end, so that's something that's happening with Twitch. Hopefully it squares up. And we're going to change the video source in a second, so maybe that'll change things. I'm not sure. But, you know, in a minute, we're going to be going live with Antonio, and hopefully the apparatus stops being such a bitch. It's got to be a bitch all its life. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a thing. This is me looking around my desk to see. So I basically sweat guitar picks. I don't know if you guys have ever hung out with a musician, but that's a thing that we do. So I'm just seeing how many are showing up on my desk. Whoa, dropping hardcore, in-depth Stephen King crap into my chat, talking about the Langoliers. Holy crap. That's like, what's next? The Tommyknockers, man? What are we going to get into? Do we have any horror fans besides me who would have even recognized what the hell the Langoliers was referring to? Or am I the only one who was going to know what that was? I don't sweat glitter. No, wife sweats glitter. Or glows glitter, because women don't sweat. Some shit like that. I don't know. All right. Space Uncle, man. Come live with me, buddy. I sent you your little warning, but we didn't get there. There it is. All right.
I've been watching the whole time anyway.
I caught that. That's why I just told you on the chat. All right, we're going to try now. Let's see if this works. All right, guys, you should be seeing our boy now. That's what should be happening. You should be seeing our boy, Antonio. And okay, you are, in fact, showing up on the chat and everything. I love when things sort of kind of work right.
That's Twitch in general. It's like, good enough.
Yeah, Twitch is a bitch.
Twitch is a bitch.
But I will
Super
say,
sus.
it's been a net positive. It's been a net positive in my life. And yeah, for those of
Same.
you in the chat already calling that out, we are both rocking epic beard of epicness. I think we've decided Antonio is a Greek statue, and I'm like a Celtic or a Viking statue. You know.
Yep.
That's
I can see it.
That's the vibe. So like
I
you're
think
like
I saw that episode of I think I saw that episode of Deadliest Warrior. Spartan
versus Viking. My money would be on Spartans if it was a group, but on a Viking if it was a one-on-one.
You know what? I have to agree with you.
That's where I'm at.
I'd have to.
It's
have
the
to agree with
berserker
you on that
gene.
one.
You can't like one-on-one. Antonio is definitely channeling a young Zeus. I'm digging that. That's good. That's real good.
Man, if I had the ability to throw lightning at people, there'd be so many burnt motherfuckers around.
Oh my God, dude.
I got
That's
a
the
list.
Philly
I got
in
a
you
list.
coming out right now.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Did you
talking
hear it?
about
Did you hear
this.
it?
I heard it just for a second. All right, so here's an interesting tidbit from the guys in the chat, and Antonio and I did not know this when we scheduled today's show, because here's the thing: we don't know each other. He's not a guy I know. He's a guy I've asked on the show. He asked to be on the show. I checked him out. I thought he was really interesting, and we decided to do that. And then about a little under an hour ago, we found out that we grew up 2.5 blocks or something away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and by
so
the way,
weird.
this now means that we do know each other now.
Yeah, we
and
know each
once
other now.
And once COVID clears up, we got to get beers. That's just the thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, there's no choice now. We have to become like meat.
Yep,
It's gotta be a thing
and then,
now.
and then we have to get up to some bullshit and end up, in a gutter somewhere, probably on South Street.
I mean, I've been in gutters on South Street before. Wait, okay, so here's how OG I am in the
Texas
South
gutters
Street
in
world.
town.
Okay, dude, I've been a South Street like little skater kid since Tower Records was open.
Oh shit! So you were like way back in the way back when
Yeah.
South Street was like properly punk.
Right, when like, dude, when it was like the rock and roll skate shop and the little indie record stores, but like the only chain store was a McDonald's, and it was in
Was
that
Crash
building.
Bang Boom still there at that point?
Crash Bang Boom was still Zipperhead back then, dude.
Oh shit! Yeah, Zipperhead. Oh my god.
Sweaters
you're like,
for
I'm not that
Ghosts
much
is
older
calling
than
me
you, but
out
now
for
I'm like,
using
I
the
don't
word
know.
meat space.
I don't know, man.
I like the
Yeah.
word meat space. I think it's good. I think it's wholesome. Or
Meat space.
something. Because like saying IRL doesn't work for me, even though I am like an AOL generation, AIM generation kid.
Same.
IRL's corny.
Yeah, it is. I used to get in trouble all the time. By the
We
way,
do got
on
some Philly
AOL.
people in the chat though. We got a pretty sizable Philly population in the chat, but no one who is that I'm aware of who is as OG straight up South Philly as you and I are.
Nope, you can't.
Right.
You can't beat it, man.
And so
but yeah,
here's-
you were just saying that too. Like we have accents that people are not aware of because it only
Yeah.
comes out when we get mad
or
And that is
passionate
a
about
real
something.
thing.
So and
When
that's
I get
actually
passionate, I'll
my
become
first
talented.
question for you is, and I'll take this challenge with you to make it fun. But for the people in the chat, can you turn on the South Philly accent, your relatives, for us?
No, see, here's the thing. I can turn on the South Philly, but my relatives are all immigrants from Italy. So I can
Oh,
do
okay.
that
Well,
too.
then talk like your
Yeah.
schoolmates from St. Monica's or Newman.
110%, yeah.
There it is!
Like anytime I can
100.
just turn it on and off whenever I feel like it. It's not even a thing. Like, all right, whatever, bro. Like, it's
You know it's
shortcuts.
real when he pronounces 100.
Yeah. I actually got approached. There was when the pandemic first hit, there was like a list of like one of the people in the voiceover community was like, here, put your information on this list. We'll help make sure everybody gets some work so that things don't slow down when everything's shutting down. And we can connect like voiceover artists to people who need them. And
Yeah.
out of the blue, this company in Florida hits me up and they're like, you're listed as being from Philly. Can you do a Philly accent? And I'm like, bro, the trick is getting rid of the Philly accent.
Yeah. The hard
Pretty
part
much.
is not having it. That's the trick. That's always been
Exactly.
the trick.
It's the trick. And I wound up doing a job for Tasty Cake.
Okay. Can
It
you
was like,
see
yeah.
the chat live right now?
Yes, I can. I'm looking at my
I'm gonna type a line for you to read. It's gonna be. Okay.
All right, you do that, but I got one for you as well. I've constructed what I think is the perfect sentence that hits all the finer points.
That's what
of
I'm
the
giving you as
Philadelphia
mine.
accent. Here we go. Here we go. Here we
Okay.
go.
So you type one for me, I'll type one for you.
Okay.
And I'll even show you how my brother and my brothers and my sister, they have really different South Philly accents because we didn't grow up in the same part of South Philly. And so my sister has the Italian. Actually, my sister's a Goretti girl, and she has the Italian, like, oh my God, my brother, like she has that one.
Yes.
And then my actual brothers, they've got like the South Philly like tough guy thing, the thing that I don't have at all but can turn on. So there you go. Mine is in the chat for you if you can see it.
Let me see. All right, I got up this morning, got a cup of coffee, and walked my dog.
There it is. There it is.
Water. All right, here we go. So this one, let me. Okay, man. All right, here we go. This one's good. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one.
This is voice acting skills, everybody. This is the real shit.
Here we go. There it is.
Yo, cuz, go into the house and get me a towel. I'm covered in water.
Exactly. But
And then Doc Rock in the chat says, "Yeah, I went to Wawa to pick up a John." Now John is a thing.
John is a real
John
thing.
is a thing, and I'm, so like I'm an educated world traveler, and I will die on the hill of saying John is a real word. There are a lot of people from our neighborhood, from our town or whatever, like people who've gotten out or whatever, who are really down on the use of John as an all-purpose noun. It's the Smurf of Philly lingo. Like you can use it for anything. It's like you can John a John. You and your John can go John that John. Like it's
Yeah, dude, I do the exact same. I'm like, oh, the John, she was Johning all over the. Yeah, you know what the hell.
Man, I went to talk to this John, right? And she had this John with her, and dude. And it becomes this thing.
Those were the long Johns, man. That was them spicy Johns. You know what I'm
Them
saying?
spicy Johns. And then also, if you're from South Philly and you were around enough people, you'd have gotten confused as a child with John and drawn being used separately as slang.
Absolutely.
But yes, the Johnception. Cyborg Caitlin says, "Bitch, I'm from Philly."
See, all right. First of all, Cyborg Caitlin, that's my girlfriend.
Nice.
She is a spooky batch, but she is also she's from now she's living on like City Line Ave, and she is from Philly, but she's not from a part of Philly where they have like the real thick accents. But I think they still do have some of the lingo there.
I live close to City Line now.
About it. Do you really?
Yeah, I'm like up off Lincoln Drive.
And Lincoln, you're not too far away from where my girlfriend's at.
Yeah. But I did grow up on Shunk Street, just like you, which blew my mind when you said that.
Yeah, it's like 5 blocks down. Just like
Steel Rose 48 has laughed in drinking from the bubbler. What the fuck is the bubbler?
This is something that I was trying to like signal to you when they were talking about having a hydrate button. I had a hydrate button on my.
I have one.
I had one. It's still there, but what happened was.
What happened?
It was like 100. What happened? You see, what happened was it was like about 100 points or channel points or whatever, and they tried to fucking drown me.
That's what's happening to me.
But the thing is that unlike you, I'm too lazy and I didn't get a big thing. I just had a quart of water, and I'm like, I'm not going the hell to back upstairs. So they kept trying to do it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And I made it like 10,000 points. And now it's become like the event of the season where people are like, I'm getting close to 10,000. I can't wait to make him chug. So they may actually try to drown you.
I am actually talking about setting a 1 million loyalty point goal because one of my long timers, Doc in the chat, Doc Rock Gear Guru, he's approaching the 1 million mark because he's a hoarder and a hardcore gambler. And he's about 150K away from getting 1 million. And I might let him like write my show for a week or something if he gets there.
Oh shit!
I've already said for I think for $250,000 I will let someone pick a theme for my Thursday night concerts. Fuck Boston Boo in the chat, and I have to hydrate now actually.
How did we get there? Who was talking about Boston? What happened?
Apparently, bubbler is a Boston thing.
Oh, I see what.
The other one that weirds me out is when people call it a hydro flask. And I'm like, I get that makes sense. When it like this.
Yeah.
But And like it's not for, but like it's a water bottle. A hydro flask is just two synonyms for water and bottle. Like it's the same thing.
It just sounds like some shit a hipster made up.
The Boston guy trying to work out what the fish. Oh, Henry Higgins, you asked how big a block is. Varies city to city. In Philly, where we are from, what is it? It's about a tenth of a mile.
I believe it's about a tenth. Anywhere,
I think it's about a tenth.
If it's in like a smaller residential neighborhood, it's about a tenth of a mile. If you're up in town, it's probably about an eighth.
Right, yeah. Which and I'm saying this to a guy from Scotland who thinks in kilometers anyway, but we're Americans and we're stupid and we can't do that. Water bubbler.
It's not the American part that makes us stupid. It's the Philly part. But we're damn proud of ourselves. So
exactly, it's the myth of American exceptionalism.
Right. Like I think I just shared something the other day too about Philly. And
there you go. Bill in the chat says it's a ninth of a mile. Hey, you're a miles guy, Henry. That's cool.
We were close. We were right there. But yeah, like there was something about you can't insult people from Philly because if you insult us, we'll take it as a compliment or we'll take it as an invitation to fight.
And either way we win.
Either way we win.
Yeah, either way we win. And it's funny because even the peaceable South Philly guys, we've got that in us, don't we? Mm-hmm. Never want to fight somebody, but it's in there. There are things you can do. That'll make me do it.
There was stories, and I even told my chat before about this. Like
wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Based Squids in the chat says, "I'll fight you all." All of us?
Who wants to go? Who wants to go?
Let's go.
Yo, cuz outside right now.
Yo, cuz.
Get out the friggin' house. Get out the friggin' house.
Yeah, I love that. Get out the freaking house.
Or my favorite, the sentence enhancer. What the fuck you doing, dickhead?
Oh yeah. And then there's the thing where we put multiple words into one. Like you can ask someone if they have consumed food today in 2 syllables, and I think you know what the syllables would be, right?
Two. You can make it one. Just jeet.
There you go. You can make it one. I usually go jeet yet.
Jeet yet. Yeah, there you go. Jeet yet. Yeah, that's all right. Jeet yet, Jeet.
Henry says, "Let me get my singlet and kilt, then I'll fight you." Dane, you don't want this action. Henry Higgins is a former professional wrestler. You don't want this action. Mm-hmm. No, that's true. Okay. Henry Higgins is a diehard steady in my chat. And actually share his YouTube links and stuff like that because now he does a lot of cool like movie reviews and things like that. Awesome. But Henry did his time as a professional wrestler and he is a large and powerful man. And also he's Scottish. Like you don't want that action.
You don't fuck with this. But you know what though, Scots, out of everyone in like I love the Scots. Scots are the best. Mm-hmm. Like whenever I meet a Scottish person, and I haven't met a Scottish person I don't like.
Yeah, and Henry's
they tell you exactly what they're thinking, and they have no filters, but they can be friendly at the same time, and they'll fight anybody, and that's everything you need in a good friend.
I mean, you can't fuck with people who have a city where the most famous export of that city is cutting your face a lot. Do you know about this? The Glasgow smile?
Oh, yeah, I do know about the Glasgow
That's the Joker thing from Heath Ledger's Joker. That's a Glasgow smile. Like, the most famous export of their city is...
Yeah, wasn't the whole thing like you cut the edges of the mouth and then you beat the shit out of the person and like as they're like wincing, it like tears the flesh and makes like the smile?
Yeah, it's basically the Scottish... Cyborg Caitlin, you're dead on right. It's Philly with a better accent. It's the Scottish equivalent of and a curb stomp is the Philly equivalent of being that awful and violent.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, I think somebody just challenged us to do Scottish insults.
So that's a redemption in my chat that's really fun, and I will do it. Henry, I'm going to apologize in advance for my abominable Scottish accent, and Antonio, we're going to ask you to pull one up on your end as well. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to Google, and you're going to Google Scottish insult Twitter. And then you're going to pick one that makes you laugh, and you're going to read it aloud in your best Scottish accent. That's a redemption in my chat, and you're here, so you got to do it.
All right, let's see. No, it's a whole Twitter page, isn't it?
I mean, however you get there, find a good Scottish insult, either a good or a bad Scottish accent, whichever you can do. Mine is bad. It's not Mike Myers bad, but it's not bad.
Mine's all right, I think.
I mean, I don't really know if mine is particularly good or particularly bad, but let's see what we've got.
And tell you what, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna do Scottish Twitter roasting Trump.
Oh, it's exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, 110 just to celebrate.
Scottish Twitter roasting Trump. Perfect. Let's do that. And thank you, Scotland, on behalf of all of us for doing that. There's a video of David Tennant reading those aloud in his natural accent, which is amazing.
Oh my god, this reminds me of those videos. You ever see that video of that chick, the Scottish chick? Like she looks like some like punk rocker chick, and she's just reading, or she's just saying all the different like dirty ways to say vagina in a Scottish accent.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And love that video. Oh
all
my
right,
God, Scotland is so.
I've got one when you're ready.
All right, let me see.
I've got one when
there's
Scotland
so many,
was answering Brexit.
Okay, so give me. There's so many here. I don't even know which one I want to do.
All right, well, you're the guest, so you have to go first. Basically, we're doing a Jimmy Fallon segment now.
Okay, all right, here we go. I think that one's good. That one's good. All right, let me just double check the other. All right, here we go. All right. Bloody custard flavored jobby.
All right. Donald Trump tweeted about Scotland and thought that they had voted to Brexit. And the top reply is, Scotland voted to stay, you witless fucking cocksplat. Scotland.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
hates
you're
both
right. You're
Brexit.
right. I even did the wrong thing. It was the full thing was they were adding Donald Trump. He says, "You make as much sense as a custard flavored jobby."
That's amazing.
I'm not
Scotland
100%
hates
sure.
both Brexit and you mangled apricot hell beast.
Help me! That was the next. That was gonna be the mangled apricot helpies. I hate Trump and everything he stands for. Wispy haired, leather faced, ball bag eyed fuck bumper. He can
And for
take
the-
his gold
do you-
to fuck.
I think ball bag is my favorite Scottishism of all time.
There was someone, I believe it was Steele of my community, sent me a series of songs like these people that do like pirate punk rock type stuff. And one of the songs was about a legendary midget pirate named Fanny Balls. And they sang it with a Scottish accent. They like, Fanny Balls! And I'm like, wait, doesn't that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
exactly what
and if anyone doesn't know, BAWBAG ball bag, it's, and you know what? I'll put it in Greek for the Greek statue that I'm talking to today. It means your testicles.
Testicles. Wait, have you played Assassin's Creed?
Yes, I played Assassin's Creed.
Okay,
Come on, man.
I've been playing it recently because I finally got on and I was like lagging behind and I got to the point where they throw testicles or he falls off drunk and then immediately gets eaten by a fucking shark.
That's really.
Did you see what happened to him in the DLC too?
No, what happened in the DLC? Did I
He
miss
was
that?
in. It was there was like a DLC where you can actually go to the Hades. Or yeah, something like that, and you're in the afterlife, and he shows up again, and you like do some quest where he shows up, and at the end he's like, "No hug this time," and as you walk away, a bunch of wolves eat him instead.
I
Like,
mean,
there's just sneak
okay,
up behind,
that's
so he gets
good.
eaten twice.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Jay Maskey 107 in my chat says Bright and I have a bromance and it's borderline weird. I'm calling bullshit. It's not weird at all. Bromances are not weird. Normalize.
I got like 5 bromance.
Normalize really aggressively deep platonic male affection. Normalize telling your male friends you love them. Normalize hugging them. Normalize kissing them on their goddamn face if that's what you want to do. It's not weird. It's not weird at all.
It's also not weird to lick their face. It's cool. That's totally.
I mean,
cool.
I would
Everybody
probably
says.
not get super weirded out by that. It's like the whole thing, and not to get into politics, but that comes up in my chat once in a while, and we just roll with it. But it's like that whole thing where they shared that picture of Biden kissing his son Hunter on the cheek, and they captioned it, "Does this look like a normal father-son interaction to you?"
Yes.
As if to say, like, no homos, blah blah blah, and like, yes. Oh my God, my father-in-law kisses me on the face. Not let alone my actual dad. If that doesn't
Listen,
seem
man,
normal to you, I submit you might have a shitty dad.
Yeah, I was about to say how terrible was your childhood? Did you have to like hug yourself? I mean, these are also the same kinds of people, and like Kate will know this when I talk about this. Like I get up on my soapbox about this.
Good,
These
welcome
are the
to
same
it.
kinds. These are the same kinds of people who will be running around in the middle of like protests when it's like racially charged, and they'll be dressed up like Greeks, and they're like, we're the strong West. It's like, you do realize that Greeks like love the butt stuff, right?
Yep, loved it.
Just in case you didn't know, like they were all about that butt
They
stuff.
love the butt
In
stuff.
fact,
And also
in
the
fact,
intercrural relations. For those of you who don't know, that means thigh fucking. Loved that shit.
Just the thigh job. But yeah, they
Henry
did. In fact,
Higgins
I
says the
remember
Greeks
hearing
would fuck
something about the
anyone.
fact that the reason why olive oil was so popular in that region of the world at a certain point was not just because it was good to cook with; it was great lube. So
Yeah, extra virgin.
that's the only thing. That's
On a
virgin
side
about
note,
this
should be pointed out that Fanny in the U.S. Yeah, I know this. Fanny in the U.S. is not the same as Fanny in the U.K. I hope everyone in the chat knows that. In the U.S., Fanny means your butt, and in everywhere else, Fanny means burginer.
Your vagine.
Vagine. I love vagine. That's amazing.
Oh, I just watched the new Borat movie yesterday. And
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh my god!
I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's
Oh
good.
my god, dude, it's so goddamn funny. And like the thing is, like I saw a little bit of like the original Borat, but it came out so long ago. I was like a teenager, and I was like, oh whatever, I don't care. This one is like very poignant for the time that it was made in, and he's so tongue in cheek that the people don't even realize just how stupid he's making them look.
Yeah, he's really good at
It
that.
makes you wonder. It makes you wonder.
I
if
mean,
they
he did it to
actually
Donald
did.
Trump on television, and Donald Trump likes to brag that he didn't get fooled, and we're like, but you did. You didn't know Ali G was fake.
Yep. I mean, he's also still saying that he won the election, but here we are. That's a whole thing. Do you like getting
Cooch
political? Because
Magooch.
I mean,
Doc, what
we're
is
from
Cooch
Gritty
Magooch?
City, man. We're from Gritty City. We are the people that sent him packing.
I
Us in
mean,
Pennsylvania
I
sent him to
mean,
the dog.
I'm all about it. Dude, I don't know if it's in my current frame. Yeah, in my starter, I'll pop it up real quick at some point during the night. But my usual starting screen, so my nickname has become the Gritty City Bard. It's literally just a thing I said offhand once, and then it stuck. And I love it. Like, that's me. And it's funny because I'm not actually a big sports person. Are you a sports guy?
Not in particular, but Gritty has become our Lord and Savior. So.
That's what it is.
I was about to
I'm
ask
not
if
a
you had
sports
told,
fan.
If you had told everybody.
I'll buy all the Gritty merch. My favorite thing in recent memory is that, perfect segue if you like the shirt. Joe Maskey's putting this shirt's for sale in my merch shop. You guys can grab it. I know there's going to be a Black Friday coupon coming out. It's on my shop's just a Redbubble shop. So, you can always be Googling Redbubble coupons. And please do, because if you get a discount, it doesn't come out of my share. It comes out of theirs. Steal from the man. Never pay full price. But my favorite thing in recent memory was that Gritty got referred to as a far-left anarchist icon by the French news.
Well, they forgot something because he's also a far-left anarchist LGBTQ plus icon.
And if he ever shows his face in Philadelphia again, that orange guy will meet our orange guy, and we will show him the bad things that happen here.
So I remember when he lost, somebody had a sign. They were dancing down the street, and they had a sign that said "Good things happen in Philadelphia."
I make
And
a
I was
bad
like,
things happen in Philadelphia shirt too. It's in my shop.
Do you really? That's fucking awesome.
I was the first person I know to come out with one. There are a bunch, but mine came
they're
out
everywhere.
because I was awake when he said it, and the second he said it, I left the news on, but I immediately sat down and started sketching one out, and I had it up 30, 40 minutes after he said it.
I'm looking right now because I want to buy that. I want one.
Well, don't pay full price, especially because I can always just get it at wholesale for you, and we can do it that way.
I was about to say, at this point, like I could just walk over to you. I'd be like, "Oh, it's not going to do it." I'd be like, "Hey, you got the shirt?"
Pretty much.
Just throw it at me.
Chester Burnett says the first half of my favorite movie quote of all time, and I'm curious if you can name the second half. In the chat, she says, "Damn the man." Is that ringing a bell? Any first person in chat to finish that who isn't me, you get 25 bright bucks.
I was about to say, I think I know, but I might also be 100% wrong.
There it is. Henry Higgins came through with it. Save the Empire. Damn the man. Save the Empire. Empire Records, my favorite 90s movie of all time.
I was totally off base on that one. Thank God I didn't say anything. Moving on.
Joe Maskey says, I love that 43 minutes in, we're still not in an actual interview. If that's not Philly, I don't know what is. There was every possibility this was going to be relatively formal, but we're getting along, so it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got nothing else to do for a little while. I mean, I stream later on tonight. Probably have to send out some emails. Other than that, I'm solid. You know what I mean?
I've got some bright boxes to do. I do this like monthly mailer thing for my high tier Patreon members, and I've got to create some artwork pieces to put in those tonight probably.
Hell yeah, man! You were way on top of your shit.
I try. Well, so like I used to make all of my money in live gigs, and so when the pandemic hit this year, I lost. I think we're at about $70,000 and counting, gone for me. So I went from like being, like a middle class, relatively successful musician to being like under the poverty line overnight. And so Patreon and Twitch and all that stuff, that's how I'm keeping my head above water. That's how I'm supporting myself. It's selling the merch, all that. Like that's my job now, because that and session vocal work, like you do session vocal work from home a lot. I can tell I literally can tell because you've got the heavy blankets behind you and an RE320. So I know that you're set up to do voiceover work in there.
110%. This is my spot where I do the work. 110%.
And actually, you know what? Because because we got called out, let's do a couple of actual industry questions because I am interested in this. Tell me, and you don't got to belabor it. You can keep it short if you like. But tell me, how did you land in voice acting? How did that happen? Like did you start trying for something else? Did you fall into it? Like, what's the story?
Okay, so how I got here, what happened was, how I got here was I went to school. I went to Temple for film and media and stuff like that. I did, I had an emphasis and focus on production and, the production side of stuff. And I wound up working with the city of Philadelphia's TV, like the government TV channel.
Sure.
Hated it.
I know that channel.
Didn't enjoy it. I did not like working in an office. Even if it was a studio, there was an office part. I did not like the person I had to work under.
Sure.
It was mismanaged. I did not like having to wear a tie. It was like
just not built to have bosses like that. I understand.
No, I couldn't stand being. I got in so much fucking trouble all the time. I just did whatever the fuck I wanted, and I got chewed out a lot, but I didn't give a shit. But point is, as soon as I knew that I was headed that way, before I even went to that job, I was like, you know what? I was always interested in that. I liked animation. I tried some animation. I'm like, animation takes too goddamn long. No. So I was like, you know what? Everybody keeps telling me for years to try voice acting. And the thing is, I have a large group of friends that I met on Xbox when I was like freaking 18.
Sure.
And I would like dick around and do voices and yada yada and whatever. And they kept telling me, and we're still friends now. It's been over a decade, and we're all still friends. Like, I got invited to a couple of their weddings and stuff like that. So they're like, try it. Well, one day when going to school for film, I came across a buddy who happened to know somebody in the industry. So he took me out to her house out in the Westchester area. She had like her own little studio set up. I did some reads. She's like, you know what? She's like, I'm not an agent anymore, but I have some connections. She basically became like my first coach.
That's so great.
It was awesome, dude. So like for 7 years she coached me, but I never really had enough time to put into it to get really far, but it was something I wanted to do. So when I got that job with the city, I was like, all right, here's the goal. Work until I can make enough money to save up, dive right in. So eventually at 5 years, I got my pension vested. I moved on out. I was, doing my due diligence, getting everything ready. There's a lot of like front end work that you need to have before you can even start auditioning and doing stuff from voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know I've made a bunch of reels for people because I'm an audio engineer.
Exactly. Oh, so then and here's the thing is that there's people, you don't want to take advantage of them, but like if they're willing to give you the money, even if they're not ready to make a reel, it's like, all right, look, you probably should.
Oh yeah, my first email is always, here's the advice. Here's my advice on what your reel actually needs to be ready, and here's what I can do to help you, and here's what it will cost you.
Right.
But yeah, because I have a reel myself, and I've done some voiceover work myself. I've done.
And like, you didn't send it to me?
No,
Bruh, send it to me.
Well, now I know. But so for me, I come at it more from and I think you can probably get this even from the way that I speak. I more pushed to do like narration work and things like that, because I'm a writer and an author as well. And so like I've pitched to do audiobooks and things like that, but I actually have done, like I did like a car commercial where I had to play 2 different college kids and all that usual bullshit.
Hell yeah.
And it only just came out to me recently that I should be trying to get into this kind of thing as well. And the thing that my friends in the voice acting industry, I missed 2 hydrates. So hold on, I'm sorry, I got to do a chug.
You're way better about keeping on track with your hydrates than I am. My community is being spoiled with you right now because you actually
Just raising the bar on you, man. Now you're gonna have to be this good. So I started getting active on TikTok this year, and my TikTok kind of blew up a little bit.
Nice.
Not like crazy, but if you've got 20,000 views on something, that's a lot.
That's a big deal.
I average like 200, but every now and again something goes a little crazy. And so because of that, I met a couple of people who do voice acting, and I was asking them advice, and I'm in a voice acting Discord. And if you're not in it, I'll send you that info and everything too, because they post auditions and opportunities and all that kind of stuff. But I met, God, I can't remember how to even pronounce her last name right now, but one second.
Yeah, sure, man. Take your time. I was about to say, and if you think that's like a bad thing for voiceover, most voice actors will trip over like the easiest words because that's all we do all day is read. So there's no shame.
I agree. So anyway, on TikTok, I met Karina Betker, and she's the voice of Paimon in Genshin Impact.
Yeah,
And-
I've seen her around recently. She's been making the rounds.
Yeah, and she's done a bunch of cool stuff. And then in my life, I've also met the voice of Tommy Pickles. She's the funniest woman in the history of the universe. And it got really interesting, but the gist from them is that I should voice villains, and that sounds like fun. I want to do that.
I mean, perfect segue. I did voice a villain. in
Yes, you
Warframe.
did. Warframe.
I mean, dude,
Talk about
voice a
that.
villain. He's still alive. He's still alive right now. So, all right. So people were here for this too. So
Yes.
Warframe
And my
is
people are interested in this too, by the way. We've got gamer nerds on my end.
Well, if that's the case, then you got. Yeah, and by the way, that was Tara Strong. I was about to say, yeah, Tara Strong. And
Yes,
she is
I've met Tara
freaking
Strong. She's
amazing.
incredible.
She's absolutely amazing.
Steel Rose says you're going to be a big goon, so let's go, Uncle Erra.
Hey, gonna be a big goon. So also remind me later on. I have met a lot of big voiceover talent, either training with them or through other people.
Yes.
Just a quick sidebar. I go to a voice acting meetup group before COVID happened, and we still do it online over Zoom.
Nice.
And the guy who does it, he lives like right at the edge of Philly. He calls it the VO Gardner meetup group in Philly. His name is Jamie Muffett. This guy is the voice of Thatcher from Rainbow Six Siege,
Oh, that's awesome.
as well as in mocap. Actually, he's done other stuff too. And
That'd be
I think he's in
like-
another game.
That's like somebody I'd be really interested to meet just because I like their work. Like there's some voice actors where you just like their work so much specifically. Like, could you imagine meeting like Johnny Young Bosch or like Nolan North and like how starstruck you'd be?
Dude, no, and at least not for Nolan North, because Nolan
Nolan's-
North he's a self-proclaimed masshole, because he's a Bostonian. He's a 100% masshole. Like that's the kind of guy you would have a drink with and just really fuck around and just like fucking cuss all day. But Jamie is actually also a musician.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, he's a musician, and I guess like it wasn't panning out as well as he wanted, and when he came to America, he fell into voice acting. But that's for a different day. So
Yes,
yeah,
tell
for
your
anybody
Warframe
who's
story.
interested, there is a game called Warframe. It is a free-to-play game. You don't got to pay anything to get the game at all. It was made by a Canadian company called Digital Extremes. This game competes with AAA titles, and it's been around for about 7 years now. You're basically a space ninja. You can have all different sorts of space ninja frames that you can use with all kinds of powers. A lot of them are actually based on like different mythological characters. They'll have like a Wukong, like Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. They'll have Atlas, and you can have all kinds of crazy powers and stuff like that. It's a really fun game. It's like a operatic space type game, and it's super awesome. And in that, there are these machines that are sentient that they have their own destroy stuff, but I am one of the leaders of these people, and I voiced this character named Erra, who I learned was actually based on an old Akkadian god of plague. which is why his face kind of looks like a plague mask, which you saw in that opening video. So yeah, I was on like a simple like pay to play type audition website. And mind you, I was in a bad place when I was getting this audition. Like I went through a breakup. I was depressed, and I was like, all right, well, you know, I took the dive. It was right after I left the steady job to do voice acting. So it was a rough start. So I go to the website and I see this character, and you know, every once in a while you'll get like some MOBA, you know, the mobile game type stuff or something
Sure.
of that nature. And I'm like, all right, this is some company based out of China, and I'm like, all
I
right.
actually have done one or two of those myself. The little mobile
Yeah, and
nothings.
exactly.
don't
and they're
pay-
fun.
that don't
I've
pay
done
much.
a few too. They're actually fun though. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what game is this? You know, I'm like, oh, the pay is actually pretty good. Let me read the script. I'm like, da 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 da, and I see a couple of the buzzwords from the game. I'm like, oh, I know what game this is. See, I was a fan before,
Yeah.
before I got it, so I was like, I know what game this is. So naturally, I proceeded to do the audition like 22 times, I think it was. And I was like, no, this is bullshit. I gotta start again. And I just kept doing
I hate it.
Yeah, there was someone I was talking to at the time. I was like, can you listen? And she's like, it sounds great. I'm like, no, it's fucking trash. So I just kept doing it, and I sent it off. I'm like, this is the one. This is the one. Sent it. I was like, fuck, that's not the one. I'm not going to get it. Fast forward about a week, it gets a little thumbs up, and I'm like, oh, it got a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm like, does that? So they like it, but they haven't chosen me yet. So I'm like, okay. Nothing. Don't celebrate. You never when you
Don't
when you
freak
send
out.
something-
Don't freak out.
Yeah, you send it and forget it. You
Yeah.
send it and forget it. You don't go, oh, let me check it. a million more
Musicians
times."
have our own version of this story, which I'll tell one after, but keep going. This is so fascinating.
So I was at the gym with my buddy. I came home. I remember.
See, that's what we're going to do when the pandemic's over. We'll become gym buddies. That sounds
we're
perfect.
gonna lift. Yeah, 110%. Like
I'm a
weights set
trainer,
up
so
here.
that'll be great for me. I love that.
We got it. Listen, if you
Literally, his personal trainer.
are you really? You know what the funny thing is? I was actually going for to be a licensed personal trainer right before I decided to go full time with voice acting.
I just did it. I did it as a side hustle for
job.
2 minutes. But continue.
Right, but I was gonna say I had to get out of that crap job at the city, and I almost became a personal trainer just to bridge the gap between that and voice acting. But then I landed my first job, which was a lot of money. So I was like, no, I can do this. So in any case, I remember I came home from the gym. I was lifting with a buddy. I sat down on my floor, and then I laid down, and I was like, man, I'm exhausted mentally, physically. Like, I'm just kind of done today. I don't know if I can do any more work. Because, you know, being a voice actor, you have to be very self-motivating. And I'm sure it's the same thing in your own.
Yes, it is.
In your own ways. I mean, you have to be on top of yourself. Because if you don't get your ass to work, you're not making the
Yeah.
money.
No one is
You also
going to
need know
give
when
you
give yourself a break.
anything.
Not a damn thing. But you also need to know when to give yourself a break, which is something I still haven't learned. And my community.
No, I
yells at
work
me.
100 hours a week.
Right, exactly. And my girlfriend yells at me about it too. Like, I do not know how to turn off. So, all right, we're on the same page. So I'm laying on the ground and I'm just like, fuck everything. And then I'm just sitting there and I feel my phone in my pocket. I'm like, you know what? Let me just check. I remember they gave me a like, well, let me just, I know that's not the rule. And it's sure enough, I decided to check. There was an email. Hi, this is, such and such. You got the role. We'll be hitting you up in about a week with whatever. I was like, oh shit.
Oh,
And
shit.
it wasn't like I jumped up and like, I was just like, huh. Okay. And then I
How
just kinda
real's
sat
life
back
gonna
down.
get? Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't like quite set in. But the thing is, when I first finally did it, I did 2 different recordings because the character is still kind of like a secret character. He's in like these hidden prologue cutscenes. He hasn't showed up in game properly yet, and he
Right.
will sometime soon. So, when that all happened, I decided to reach out to the community, and I was having trouble. That's how I came to Twitch. And sure enough, since coming to Twitch and meeting the community's super active. And let me tell you something. If you've ever seen like certain fandoms, like you seem like the kind of guy that's into nerdy stuff too.
Yes, big time.
There are some fandoms that can get really, really toxic. I have had almost 0 interaction.
Right, like I stay 18 miles away from the supernatural fandom because it is a toxic nightmare.
For that exact. And these people are all like, the reason why my people are so awesome, they're just the standard for the Warframe community, because most of them came over from Warframe.
That's
And
amazing.
They're awesome. I took to jumping into people's streams of other like Warframe content creators, because DE
Yeah.
as a developer, they actually sponsor people to be their content creators and will like get them in on the ground floor for new stuff, and like raid them from their official Twitch channel. So you have like thousands of people on your channel. They're good to their content creators, and they're part of the content creation program. So I just took to going into people's Twitches and just freaking them the hell out. And one group in particular, they're named Angry Unicorn. There's a guy and a girl. They're a couple, Doc and Lala, from Canada. Sweetest people you'll ever meet. Doc put on a whole show when he found out who I was. He jumped around and said, "There's a celebrity." I'm not a celebrity, but he was like, "Yeah." It was a whole thing. We are now very good friends. I already have had multiple invitations to come stay at their house, come next
Don't you
year
love
because.
that?
Dude, it's amazing, and I'm gonna go. Like DE has their own convention for the game itself called TennoCon, and I was supposed to be a guest this year before Corona shut everything down.
Right.
So next year when it happens, I'm gonna go see Doc and Lala, and they even brought me in on a streaming group called the Herd Streamers. We've already done like a charity thing. Like they're all about being awesome people, being awesome to each other, and sharing the love. And all the streamers that are under like the Herd Streamer banner are just like that. So long story short. This community is super awesome. The devs are awesome. Everybody's like really cool. I've made lots of new friends that are influencers and whatnot. And if it wasn't for these people and like the people in my chat, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be in as good of a place I am career-wise,
Right.
or even just in general, especially throughout this freaking year.
I get it, man. I get it. You know, so from my end, the version of that feeling is that, so my Lamplighters, that's my crew. The Lamplighters have basically kept me afloat in 2020. Like I said, I lost an unimaginable amount of money to this. I didn't have a clue. And then like also like this year, I had thieves rip a bunch of parts off my car and render it junk. And
Holy
like,
shit.
It's been a bad, rough patch, man. And
Bro, whose ass we got to kick?
that's, dude, I swear to you, if I
Whose
knew,
ass we got to kick?
if I found him, if I knew, we'd be going. We'd mask up for multiple reasons. But you know, like that level of support in my chat where these people will show up every time I do anything, and they will hype me and they will talk about me and they will. It's just unimaginable. You know, like to call out a guy who's talking in my chat right now, Henry Higgins. Never met Henry in person in my life. I've never even had a video chat with Henry. This is our interaction, is talking on Twitch, talking on Facebook, talking in my Discord server, which, by the way, guys, if you're watching, you're not a member of my Discord server, feel free to join. It's brightkelly.me/chat. We are itty bitty bitty. I think there's like 40 of us and only like 6 of us talk on a regular basis, but feel free to come join the party. We've got channels for all kinds of nerdy shit. We have video games and TV channels or whatever. But the Lamplighters keeping me afloat, it motivated me to start putting out solo music, to start running. I have a webcomic that I publish monthly, to start publishing short stories again as an author, all this stuff. I'd lost track of it all, and it's actually ironically because last year I was doing really well. So in over the last few years, so your Warframe moment, that was a big moment where you were like, oh man, this might be real, right? So for me, my band won a contest and opened for Imagine Dragons.
What?
It was the most bonkers thing.
Well, how long ago was this?
Like, that was 3 years. That was 3 years ago. That was the first big thing that happened to us. Dude, like, I played BB&T.
Yeah.
It was
Holy
nuts.
Shit.
It was nuts. And that was our moment of, oh man, is this real? And then in the year and change immediately following that, we opened for the Wallflowers. We opened for Eve 6. We opened for Lit. We opened for Alien Ant Farm. We opened for Atlas Genius. We opened for Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. We opened for Judah and the Lion. We opened, like, just crazy shit. We did this 7,000 person festival out in Hershey, and we played Winter John.
Wait, what?
With we played Winter John with the Interrupters and Young the Giant. The last Winter John that happened. We were there. It was crazy. And we had a year like that lined up for 2020. And I was thinking, oh man, I've been doing this professionally since I was 15. I have been grinding since I was 15 years old. I have put everything into this. Yeah, Matt and Kim got called out in the chat. We opened for Matt and Kim too.
Oh shit.
And I thought, oh man, finally we've got a snowball. It's snowballing. It's real. And then Corona took it all. And I'm rebuilding from scratch again as a guy who plays guitar and sings by himself on Twitch, who puts out solo music. Like it's and I thought, man, maybe it's a sign. Maybe I get out of this art thing for like 5 minutes. And my community was just like, we'll kill you dead. We'll and like, don't be ridiculous that your calling is. And if all you need is to get your bills paid to keep doing it, do it. That's a great story you're telling right there, Doc. We had these hats that got misprinted for our Winter John show. My band's called The Great Enough. And the hats that we got printed, they were like these beanie pom-pom things, but they forgot the T, so it just said "He Great Enough." And we were like, I guess we're gonna we're gonna get rid of them or whatever. But the story got out because we told this DJ at a local radio station, and she started telling the story on air, and then she told the story on stage at Winter John, and then our merch table got flooded by people who were desperate to get the misprint. That's such a nerd thing, isn't it?
That's such a specific, like, I don't know how to put it into words, but that's such like a specific thing. It's like, it's more nostalgic now because that is the messed up version. Kind of like the friggin' the RE20 you were showing me.
Oh yeah, we talked about this guy earlier. A couple people in the chat are going to be curious about this too, and it leads me to an actual voice actor question, which you can think about while I show. My question is, what gear is essential for somebody who wants to be able to do voice acting from home? I personally have thoughts and feelings and answers on this, but I would very much like your answers for people who don't. Now, show them your microphone. Oh, you guys can already see it. See his microphone there, guys? Right. That's an RE320. It's a really great modern broadcast microphone. It's one of the go-tos for people who do radio work, things like that. It's actually higher quality than the microphone I'm talking to you guys on, but as I explained to Antonio a bit ago myself, I don't care. I just use the mic because it's really easy to set up in my chat. But
you want the voice of God.
Yes. When you want to lean in and get the drama.
Yes, very good.
So this is an RE20, this one's from the late 1960s or early 1970s, made in America in Burnsville, Minnesota, which yours is definitely not. And the cool thing about mine is it's from a local Philadelphia studio that used to be legendary, that cut everybody, called Sigma Sound. And this microphone was used on a David Bowie record. I have a David Bowie tattoo right here above my Prince tattoo. That's how much I like David Bowie. So when I found out that this existed, I asked if I could buy it, and I thought that I would be told no and laughed out of the conversation. But the guy gave it to me for $100. Because he didn't care. This was just used on the session by, the backing vocals or the horns or whatever, and he has the one that David Bowie himself was on. So, he didn't care so much about this one, but I have it, and it's like one of my prized possessions.
My girlfriend's losing her mind right now because she loves David Bowie.
So do I, and if you ever come back to my chat, just request ahead of time a David Bowie. I will always honor a David Bowie request at my Thursday shows.
Wait. She says she knows exactly what record. Which record?
Okay, call it. Say it in the chat. Say it in the chat. If you're right, $100 bright bucks to Cyborg Caitlin. If you say the right record.
Come on, Kate. You got this. All right. So while she's thinking that one up. Oh shit. What was the question? Right. The equipment. Okay.
Essential gear.
All right. So
essential gear to avoid.
Okay, so see, things are a little bit different now because of COVID-19.
Goddamn Rona.
Before, a lot has changed actually. But the point was, like, before you didn't need the fanciest equipment, you just needed something. It was more the acting, and that's still the point. Like,
you used to just need gear to audition with, not
you
gear
just need
to
the
do
gear
it
to
with.
audition. Exactly, because people can bring you in, especially if you're like me in Philadelphia. I can just hop on a train, and within like 45, 50 minutes, I can be in New York. Maybe a little bit longer if I take like a slower train. Like it's super quick. But I also can do it from home, and I'm hoping that everybody being from home it'll make it so that we don't have to travel as much. That'd be nice. But Now in COVID-19 era 2020, you can actually get a really good sound quality if you have a decent microphone, and that's like anything that's not a USB microphone. I'm talking about an XLR microphone, so you'll need a preamp.
Yes,
And,
not
like, the
a
most
Yeti.
standard, not a Yeti. No offense to anybody who has like the Snowball or the Yeti. That's not it. No,
It's not what you need for this. I'm literally
it's
talking
not-
on a Yeti right now, and I can promise you it's not what you need.
right. And streaming it's
Great
fine.
for this.
Yeah, it's great for streaming, and if you're doing like well, not even like a really like a podcast, but you want a good XLR quality. So XLR meaning if you've ever seen like the prongs on the end, it has like those 3 prongs, like that. That's the kind of thing you want. And what you do is you buy yourself a preamp, like this. I have the common one, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. That's the one that everybody has. There you go. That's it. That's an XLR plug. So you basically
I'm on a
plug that in,
Focusrite Claret 8 pre myself.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's nice. So, frick, what was I saying? Right.
Gear.
So you have the preamp. The preamp is like the USB to XLR, and then the XLR goes in. That's the kind of stuff. And you really have to shop around, see what works for you. Like I said, this one I actually got at a discount, but it is the kind of thing that you have to be right on top to make it sound nice. However, that means you're going to get a lot of mouth noises because you're like eating the mic practically.
Which
And if
means
wanna
you
shout,
either
gotta
need an
back-
audio engineer to edit, or you have to learn to do that.
Yes, and you do have to learn how to do that, which brings me
Yeah.
to my next point. You're gonna want a good soundproofed area, and to make an area soundproof, it's not as hard as you'd think. I'm lucky; my setup here is in a basement, so I don't need that much soundproofing because it's pretty deadened. Because
Right.
of the fact
Meanwhile,
that
mine is not, so I have to
Right.
do all that work.
right, so you have to like do, and the thing is, they will be able to hear the sound quality, and a lot of people
Yeah.
are being super picky about having like studio quality. So what people have taken to, which apparently works really well. Do it in a closet. If you have like a closet that's big enough for you to like sit in, even if it's cramped, your clothing around you will actually provide the deadening effect that you need, depending on how you like situate them.
Yep. And
in the
line your closet with blankets or something, and that'll help even more.
And then that'll be about all you need. And if you
Yeah.
can do that and keep the sound out, and you don't mind sitting in a cramped little closet,
I have a cedar
can actually-
linen closet. It's great.
Is that where you do recording and stuff? When you're
If I need to do voiceover, yeah. If I need to do vocal work where the needs are different, I actually do it in the space that we're in right now on an LDC with an isolation shield. But that's because I don't need the same kind of noise floor that you need for voiceover. For voiceover, your noise. You want to? Can you explain noise floor, or would you prefer I did?
You can go for it. You're already
All right, so guys, noise floor is the amount of extraneous noise or decibel noise or sometimes even electronic noise that is under your voice. So think about it like how you can hear that your refrigerator is on even when it's not doing the mechanical thing, or how you can tell when your computer's on because there's that tiny little kind of noise. All of those things contribute to what's called your noise floor. That's the amount of noise that exists when you're not talking. And for voiceover work, they want that to be really, really, really low, and they also often want you to be able to acquire a thing called room tone, where they want to hear. They either want to hear nothing except your voice, or they want to hear your voice and a really naturally sounding space around your voice that doesn't contain extraneous noise.
Right. Usually the noise floor for your standard recording thing would be like sub 50 decibels.
Correct.
Like if you're making no noise at all, not even breathing loudly, like you said, the room tone would be
Minus
below 50 decibels.
Yeah.
And that's easy enough to get if you have a quiet enough space and you don't have like noisy neighbors banging on the wall or dogs barking or whatever. If you live in the suburbs, you have people blowing fucking leaf blowers or whatever. But the thing is, you actually can remove some of the noise with certain programs, but to get your noise floor as low as possible so that you have less work to do, because the more of the background noise you remove, the more it ruins the quality of your voice.
Correct. Gating. So that's called gating for those of you guys watching. And so as an audio engineer, when I deliver, voiceover or narration auditions, I have a slight advantage over people who don't know this stuff. But gating your voice kind of messes your voice up a little bit if you're not really, really, really careful or don't know what you're doing. It's a really easy thing to be like, oh, I'm putting a gate plugin on my voice, and whenever I'm not talking, it's gonna cut all the noise, but it'll actually cut some of the frequencies of your actual voice out. And especially for someone like Antonio, who has kind of a deep, resonant voice, that would be dangerous. And I say that because we have
We
So,
do.
no.
We know. We definitely do. You definitely got like that, which makes me feel hopeful that I can maybe sing because you have like that nice, like richer, deeper voice, and I'm like,
Well,
man, if you
I
can hit
have to
those
do
notes,
I
can.
have to do singing impressions the way that you do voice impressions.
All right. Well, I mean, how do you mean? You mean like
I
you
mean,
gotta,
I
like...
get hired as a session performer pretty frequently. So
Ah.
I'm on a lot of music in like Nashville, and there like I've had to do like power metal records and things like. I get hired as just a singer, and I have to be
Right.
able to change my voice to suit that genre. So like my natural singing voice is what I did on the stream today, but it's
Right.
not outlandish for me to. It's not outlandish for me to have to come into a song where they want me to sing like a country singer or whatever,
Yeah.
It's frustrating because he looks so familiar. Who looks so familiar? Yes, I did a power metal album for a guy in Italy, and that required me to do like really, I'm so fine, like big, huge, like kind of stuff.
Right. That's fucking awesome.
The guitar boy looked so familiar, as in me, or as in the guitar itself? What are we talking about? Did I miss something?
Is that Robin? Yeah, which one, Robin? Are you talking about? Yeah, Emmy. That's Robin. Which one are you
Okay.
talking about, Rob? Fuck. But there was something I was saying
Me.
and I lost.
Oh,
Oh, right.
if
There
I
is-
look
there is something
I look
I
familiar?
did. You said, what did they say? Are you hitting on them?
I've done stuff. Like, I've been on TV and stuff. Like, not as an actor, but as a musician. Like, like my band did, my band's got like a couple million streams. So I've done stuff. Yeah, it's not impossible. It's not super likely, but it's not impossible that you've seen me. Or, do you know if is Emi Hana from Philly?
No.
Okay, so it's not that.
She's from
Thank you.
somewhere.
I can. If you're talking to Antonio, based on the way he's talking, I think it's probable that he can as well.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I haven't tried it in a while.
Wigglesy Brows says,
thinks you live
"Dude, I
near
think I
one of
used to live a few blocks away from you, and I think they mean you." But that would be me as well. If you lived a few blocks away from Antonio, you probably also lived a few blocks away from me, because Antonio and I lived a few blocks away from each other and never
About
met.
5 blocks. That's it.
Yeah.
I had no idea, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. One thing I wanted to mention before we get too far off
Yes.
the topic with it is you actually can deaden your sound too much.
Yes.
It's a harder thing to do, but you actually can, especially if you have a smaller space. If you do like floor to wall, ceiling, and everything with something that'll absorb the noise, depending on the room, you make it so deadened that your mic won't even be picking up those same resonant frequencies as well. So you got to find a sweet spot.
Yes.
And there are techs that will come out and do it. Like you can pay them a decent amount, and it's not even that much, and they'll like get you like set up straight and ready to go wherever you are. Just make sure that you want to have them in your house.
Yeah.
Or
And I
now
would
they'll do,
say
like, digital
for
calls.
things to avoid, we've talked about avoid USB microphones, because they're not gonna be robust enough for what you need.
You're just
And
wasting
I tell
your money.
people
You're just
typically-
wasting your money.
And I tell people that it's sort of a waste of money, and I own a couple of them. They have limited utility, but people think they're these magic buttons. When I'm talking about our isolation shields, which, where is mine? Here you go. These guys. You'll see a lot of people recommending these kinds of things, and
Right.
I don't recommend them. They're not going to have an appreciable effect on the frequency response of your microphone. And they can, if you don't know exactly how frequency operates, they can actually work against you and cause you to distort your voice so that it sounds unnatural.
Right.
But most of the time, they're kind of just doing nothing. All I recommend is a microphone, a good preamp, a decent space, and a pop filter. That's the stuff.
That's about all you need, which
Yeah.
is ironic for me because I don't have a pop filter, so I have to be extra super careful. But I have learned methods. There are methods like
That microphone's also very forgiving of pop stuff in general.
It
That
is.
That
It
specific
is.
microphone can help you. If you were on,
like the NT5. Maybe,
if you were on if you were on one of these without a pop filter, that would not fly.
right, 100.
So for anybody who's watching who's been considering getting into that, which I know there are a few, and I could call you guys out by name, but I'm not going to be a jerk. Definitely a thing we can do. Hey,
And
good news for me. Good, awesome.
I was
Got
going to
some
say
good
something
news.
I wanted to impress upon people. If you are thinking about voice acting specifically, take classes.
Acting
learn
classes.
acting
Take
classes.
acting classes.
I mean, there are like voice acting classes that teach you how to act, as far as like the mic and how to do it by using your voice. But take improv and acting classes, which believe me is scary.
Yep.
Which is ironic that I got into this because I did not like I had to when I was in college I had like a throwaway class in like my
Yeah.
last year, and I was like, I guess the acting class, and I was so nervous, and it actually turned out to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was
I'm a
a
theater
lot
and
of-
film kid. Like I come from that school as well. I did theater in college, and I did some film
you're definitely
stuff.
nice and relaxed with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is funny because I've also trained for performance capture and motion capture,
Oh.
which is not something I think I do because that's basically the acting, but you know, you're just being very aware of your physicality, which is I think the veil of it's for a video game and they're not seeing your actual face, they're just seeing your performance
Yeah.
put into another like a character's body. But
And then
it's
I
been
think
interesting
the
ride.
hardest voice acting gigs are dubs. I think dub gigs
Yeah, I stay
are
away
so
from
hard
dubs.
because you
There's
have
two
to,
things I stay away from.
you have to match flaps.
Mm-hmm.
I
Don't do
I
it.
don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to record kind of to like my ideal is I like to record to like a storyboard or in a vacuum and then have the animators or whatever match to that. That's the ideal
Exactly.
because then you're free.
do
Henry
whatever it
Higgins
is
says
that you wanna
cutting
do.
live wrestling promos is a great teacher on how to manipulate your voice. Yeah, and voice manipulation is a thing. Like I said, as a singer, you know, this is what I sound like. But I can drop my voice and sound different ways. Or I can get crazy high or really elaborate. You have to be able to do that kind of thing. It is musical. What you do. I just listened to your reel, dude. Like, what you do is musical.
Right, exactly. It is. It's a different kind of music, but every language has its own music to it, and even within that, there's different like subgenres. Because when you're like what you just did, if you're doing like a dramatic trailer, you're going to have a different timing and a different tone, as opposed to when you're doing something.
I like that you knew that was a
this is-
trailer voice.
Exactly. In a world.
In a
But then
world.
there's also
no,
like
in
the,
a
you know,
world.
right, but then there's also like the if you want to have fun with your kids, try Play-Doh. Like it's a different
Yeah.
energy. You're
Yeah.
up. Neither of those are my natural speaking tone. My
Nope.
natural speaking tone is like more like right down here.
Yeah.
But you kind of fluctuate with that. And the thing is,
Yeah.
a lot of people in the industry now are heading towards guy next door, more natural type thing. That's
Yeah.
what they want.
Which
They
is
want- they-
helpful.
It is helpful because you
Yeah.
don't need to necessarily know the accents and whatnot. And mind you, I'm someone who's trying to break into the industry with animation. I have broken in with video games. I'm trying to push further in.
Steel's
But
heading
that-
out, just so you know.
All right, Steel.
Appreciate the
Okay.
follow. Thank you, guys. We got some questions for you coming up, too. But finish your thought.
All right, cool. So thank you. So I was saying, what was I saying? All right. So I've been studying. In fact, just Saturday, I was studying with Bob Bergen. If you know who Bob Bergen is, he is the voice of Porky Pig for the past 30 years,
Yep.
Tweety Bird, as well as I just learned this, No Face from Spirited Away.
Ooh, that's cool.
I had no idea. So yeah, so he is a legend, and he put me
Yeah.
through the paces with that. But he gave me compliments and was like, "Dude, you can actually like, it's looking good, man." Like he's like, "Keep up the work. You're competitive." So I was like, "Great, awesome." So the thing is that while that is one specific thing, and I have to think about moving to LA to do that, video games also there's other places where you can move, or video games are also kind of leaning right now towards you don't have to be in the same spot as them, which is even better.
Yeah, but of
But-
course, then they're going to have technical things you have to be able to learn how to do.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to know how to edit, and you have to learn. You have to become like a sound
I've
engineer. You don't
I've
need
talked
be
to some
super
companies who apparently like there are some companies who are discussing whether they want to be able to assemble like this is the mobile recording kit our voice actors need to use, and then they're just going to ship that to the voice actor to confirm that everyone's on the correct microphone, correct preamp, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that will work, but that seems like a lot.
Man, as an audio engineer, though, you should know there are definitely some people that like everything has to be uniform. We have to do it in our space because our space is the best space with our equipment, the way we have
Yeah,
it, and
of
it may
course.
like borderlines like a superstition thing.
Yes.
Like we can recreate this, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of technical stuff with that, and you will have to, as a voice actor, you'll have to learn it, but not as much as you would expect. Not as
Right.
much as you would expect. So the most important part of everything, acting. Know how
Yes.
to act.
If you can't
That's
act,
it.
it does nothing else you do matters.
It doesn't.
at all.
You can do all the silly voices all day, and also if you do voices, you should be able to do that voice for 3 or 4 hours. Like if you can do the best Kermit the Frog, yeah, like you can do that, and that's awesome. If you can't do that for 4 hours straight,
Right.
don't even mention it because you
Like
can't.
talking
do
about Tara Strong, like if you can't do that, it's such a, or you know who the ultimate example of that is? I can't remember his name right now, but the English voice of Goku, that dude has to scream a lot. And he can just maintain it somehow.
And the other thing is, again, if you are doing a character, not only do you have to be able to maintain that character, you need the levels, because just like
Sean
just
Schemmel,
like
that's
in
it.
music, what was it?
Sean Schemmel, that's his name.
Yes,
legend.
So just like in music, where you have like different keys, and you have to go an octave higher, octave lower, it's the same thing within a character.
Yeah,
So,
you need to know all the aspects of that character's voice.
Right.
So if I'm gonna do a character as a scratchy, British accent like this,
Jason
sometimes he
Statham.
likes to go up here. Somebody gets scared. That's not really. It's not important. But then if he's down here and he's doing something sinister,
you have to be able to fluctuate.
That was cool, by the way.
Thanks, man.
That was a good
you have to
Jason
be able
Statham.
It was almost like that was like me channeling like my inner Murdoch from the Gorillas.
Nice, I can see that. Yeah, it's the same thing with vocals. Like when I have to do when I have to deliver this, because I did, like I said, I did a power metal record,
right?
And there was a lot of big and what they wanted from me was Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden. That was the target. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. That's fine. Here are the notes I can get to, and your music needs to fit within that, because if I go any higher than that, I won't be able to sustain it the proper way. Then you have to kind of know you have to know what you can and can't do. You have to really be comfortable with your instrument, I think is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Question for you was, how many variants of a line do you think you would normally do in a reading?
That depends entirely on the job and what kind of project it is that I'm working on.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when I was doing Erra and Warframe, they were trying to feel the character out, and he was being deceptive, but also he was hurt, but he was still trying to lie. And, there was a lot of emotions going on, despite the fact that he's like an owl-faced robot thing. So the character we did it a couple takes, a couple different ways. Maybe he sounded more like he was lying. Maybe he sounded sincere. He sounded hurt. It was more poetic. It was more angry. And it's simple directions like that. But then if it's something like a corporate video, one or two different ways. Just put an emphasis on a different word, or put a little energy here. Smile at the end when you do that. And by the way, for anybody who wants to know, I'll give you an insider tip. If they say smile on a certain word, make your voice go up.
That's all they mean.
Maybe tighten your mouth like you are smiling, but and that's the way we do it. And like that, and then it'll make it sound like
that's
you're smiling.
That's a singing technique too.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a thing that I tell singers to smile even when they're singing a line, because it will naturally affect their pitch and intonation a little bit. And so if I sing a line, but then I sing a line, it is different. It's clear. Yeah. There's clarity to it. We got people in the chat pointing out that the original Homer Simpson voice was changed because the voice actor couldn't sustain it.
What, really?
Yeah. The original was like a Walter Matthau kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then somebody said it's probably the same thing you do for belting. No, it's not the same. The screaming technique and the belting technique are different. So this is a belt. This is what they mean when they say use your belt. Using my chest voice. The one way to achieve a scream is to overtax the vocal cord, and that's a very unhealthy way to do that. And that's no good. But you can get the same effect by just sort of it's called you use what's called vocal fry in a healthy way, and so there's a way to sort of manipulate the muscles in your vocal cords to go from singing to singing healthy.
Right.
Some guys do that really well, some guys don't. An example of someone who does it really poorly is James Hetfield from Metallica. That's why his voice changed so much over the years. He had really bad technique, and in learning how to get his technique correct to be able to continue, he had to lose his growl, which is why modern Metallica, he'll go, yeah, once in a while, but when he's singing the actual lines, he won't go like he's not when they do Master of Puppets. He doesn't go in the passion play, stumbling away or whatever. He goes in the passion play like he sings it clear because he can't sustain that. But an example of someone who does it really, 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 really well was Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. Chester could do that for ages. He held a screaming note for 17 seconds on a record. And he was able to do that day in, day out, night after night without hurting himself because he learned the technique, which is what I would say to anyone, voice acting or singing, I would say really, really experiment with what you can do safely. And I would also recommend that voice actors take singing lessons because you're going to learn a lot about breath control.
Yeah, you know that singing actually would help you because especially animation, a lot of animations want you to be able to sing now from things like Steven Universe and stuff like that. And
Isn't
I actually
Tara
did learn
Strong
about
also
breath
Buttercup?
What's that?
It occurred to me. I think Tara Strong's also Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls, and she was
she's
talking Bubbles.
She's Bubbles. She was Tommy Pickle. I think she was Dill Pickle. She was.
But my point is, she's a singer as well.
Timmy Turner,
and she talked about that.
Yes, absolutely. So
thanks for the follow, Marcus.
That's Omar. Yeah, that's Omar.
Omar.
That's my Calabrian buddy.
Nice.
So yeah, oh god, there was something you said in there, and I wanted to like touch on. Oh right, well first of all, you could hear it when you were doing it. You're doing like that vocal fry, and then you tried to talk. You got caught up, and that's the problem with that stuff. That's why you got to be careful. So it was like a perfect demonstration of it.
I have the advantage of just having a raspy voice in general anyway, so this is the healthy sound of my voice.
I was about to say, you and me, we have like the glottal fry. We have that natural gravel, which is you got to be careful. So like when I do something like shouting or screaming, I also have a tendency to just make my voice crack because it's already so low and I got to go higher. Yeah. So I think it's the same technique where you kind of like relax the muscles and kind of pull it up from your gut instead. So instead of being like, you just, and it's coming straight up from there. So you're not straining the vocal cords, but you have enough to push up. And I believe in motion capture and performance capture, they call that barks and oh-nos.
That makes sense. That's I wouldn't know because I haven't encountered that. But if they use those words to describe what they wanted, I would get it. Yeah,
it's like it's like when you're like grenade, but instead of being like grenade and you strain it, you're just grenade, and you're just raising the voice, but it's coming from your diaphragm, so you're not straining this to get it out.
See me hitting my stomach because I know.
Yep. Yeah. What do they call it? I remember I took a class with a voice talent and now instructor who's like old school style, like when people used to send in like little recorded tapes and stuff. And she had a method called the plop drop.
The plop drop.
Yeah, because she gave us like this detailed thing about here's your diaphragm and here's how it works.
I wonder if that's related to the opera technique park and bark.
Possibly.
So in opera, because I'm a classically trained singer, you wouldn't know by all the rasp, but that genetics is what made me go the way that I went. Like people go, oh, how did you get your voice like that? Was it raspy? Was it no? It was puberty. Like that's pretty much what made my voice sound this way. But I started off in classical training, and I can take the rasp away and do the like Phantom of the Opera stuff or whatever. It's not out of reach for me. But my voice is more, I don't know. Obviously, it's more like Rent than Phantom of the Opera or something. But park and bark is a technique opera people use to sustain a powerful high belted note, and literally what they'll have you do. If I was gonna do a note that was like up that way, which that's what is that? A G. That's pretty high. So if I wanted to hit a G here, I could, but it would be tricky. And I go and it's a little tough. But if I stand, tighten my diaphragm, put my weight on my back foot, which is actually take the breath, park, bark, louder, more resonant, cleaner.
Right. It's kind of related to that, but it was more of like a breath control thing, like you were talking about. So she wanted you to find 3 points. By the way, that was a fantastic note. That was awesome. that was so cool.
A G is a comfort note for me, man. I can get up to about a C, I would say. Here.
That's like your normal range, like without.
My comfort range is I'm a baritone, but I've hit this. The highest note I've sung on a record is this. in my full voice. I've hit that in a full voice.
No shit.
If you guys want to hear that, you can check out a song by my band The Great Enough called Never Run Away, and toward the end of Never Run Away, there's a big moment where I do like a variant on the chorus, and I go for a really high note, and the line I sing is these notes. That's the line I sing in that register, in that range. But that was like work. That was brutal for me because I'm not a tenor, and that is a hardcore tenor note.
That's freaking awesome. So, right. So the plop drop is just finding the space, because when people breathe, they have a tendency to breathe through their chest.
Yeah.
And they'll breathe. And this lady was like, no, you should always be breathing through your stomach, especially the lower part of your belly. And because when you breathe in, your diaphragm pushes down. So what you should be doing is extending your stomach down, like basically towards your pelvis and down towards the ground.
Yeah.
So
seeking that connection with the ground is a big part of voice lessons. You'll find anyway. Seeking that low, stable thing.
So they basically, she was basically like, you got to find these 3 points. One of them starting like at your pelvis, and then like right beneath your belly button, and then right above it, and you suck it in, and you push out as much air as you possibly can, and then once you're done, you suck it, you let the air back in, and you let.
This is absolutely related to the park and bark. This is a similar technique to what you're taught before you go for those notes. This is related to the park and bark.
She also was a singer, and I believe she was an opera singer too.
I was gonna say, if anybody in the chat needs proof that this is a good technique, watch any video of Freddie Mercury when he's not sitting at the piano. Watch the video of Freddie Mercury at Live Aid, and he will do all of the things you just saw. You will see him. You will see his stomach tense. You will see when he goes for high notes, the way he'll come into his body and center himself, and you will see him place his back foot and park and bark. So he'll do plop drops. Yeah, it's one of those things where you can just see the technique in his whole body. And he's a great person to watch for that because he's so demonstrative that you can see it. Other singers. So, like, it's like when you watch musical theater or whatever, and you see that thing at the end of a song where they hit the big note and then they go, that's just acting. They don't need to be doing that. No matter how hard what they were doing is, they can be they all know how to breathe from down here. If you see their shoulders going, it's because they know you like it.
Yeah, exactly. That's 110%. That's why, because that's the thing too. Because when you breathe that way, you'll not never pressed to run out of air.
Yeah, your girl says Freddie Mercury makes a performance out of singing technique. That's absolutely true. The same is also true of David Bowie, and the same is also true of Prince.
Oh,
which
all 3 of them are gone now too.
And that's my holy trinity. They're the 3 singers that I consider the biggest influences on me, the best to walk the walk in a way that I can. I feel strongly about certain female singers as well, but I borrow as much technique from female singers with a few exceptions. You know, like I can borrow from Melissa Etheridge or something, but I can't borrow from, and Prince you're correct, Sweaters for Goats. Prince was an outstanding musician. There's a reason he's on me.
Consummate professional too.
And perhaps the most underrated all-around musician. Everyone knows he's a strong... Good news, everyone. Thanks to loyal lamplighters. Wait, can you do the professor from Futurama's voice?
Let's see if I can.
There's a line in there that's meant to be read in that voice in the chat.
Good news, everyone. That was okay.
That reminded me of old Katharine Hepburn more than the professor. Good news, everyone, with the little vibrato.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks to loyal lamplighters, Yathena Lynn and Doc Rock. Yeah.
Why not Zoidberg?
There you go. That was close.
Clam on Tuesday.
Anyway, anyone who follows the chat right now, who hasn't already, follow the chat. You're gonna get 250 loyalty points. We're called Bright Bucks in my channel. So follow us if you haven't already, and turn on your notifications, subscribe, etc., etc. All those things get you Bright Bucks. And long timers Yathena Lynn and Doc Rock Gear Guru, who are long timers in my chat, they're going to actually deduct from their own loyalty points and give those points to you guys.
That's love.
So that's what my people are like, just so you know. That's what this crowd is like.
That's amazing. That's what my people are like too, but they just like to torture me.
Somebody just
Everyone
called
else
out one of
likes
my all-time favorite songwriters, and it was one of your people, and it makes me happy. Dolly Parton,
Dolly Parton,
never gets enough credit.
Dolly Parton not only never gets enough credit for her music, she is just an all-around awesome human being.
Yeah, here's the thing a lot of people don't know about Dolly Parton. She produced the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Uncredited. Take that in. Take that in.
Wait. Why uncredited, first of all?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer the rights were owned and the show was produced by Sand Dollar Entertainment. Go look up who owns that. It's Dolly Parton.
That's fucking
And that's
wild.
true. I did sing 9 to 5 last week. I did work in 9 to 5 on last Thursday's show.
She part-funded one of the current COVID vaccines.
True.
Too, apparently.
Dolly is perfection. Vintage country songwriters are among the greatest that have ever lived. Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Johnny Mercer, like just unbelievable. There were so many it's tragic that school of songwriting got overtaken by like the kind of Nashville pop country thing. Jolene does slap. Jolene, Jolene. I love that song so much.
By the way, I was about to say when you were talking about your other influences, I was like one of the the female singers you could have you could have borrowed some stuff from Nina Simone.
I do love me some Nina Simone. I mean, love Nina Simone.
Nina Simone. She had that dark, smoky voice. You know what I mean? But like,
there's
she
not
started
a lot.
Singing, you were like,
there's not a lot of guys in modern music who do the thing that I do, which like on some levels is disheartening, but on other levels is great because I don't want there to be. Necessary. You know, I'd rather be the current alternative male voice is, you know, it's the 21 Pilots guy. It's stuff like that. When I was stressed out, like that's what they all sound like, and I'm not. Just because I can doesn't mean I ever would. How do I rate Eagle Eye Cherry as a singer or a songwriter? As a songwriter, high. As a singer, low. Do you know Eagle Eye Cherry?
I'm not familiar.
It's
no.
Can you hear this piano I'm playing?
Oh, I can.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. I was doing that, wasn't doing that for nothing.
It's smooth.
You know Eagle Eye Cherry, I'm almost sure of it. It's Save Tonight.
Oh yes,
Break
okay.
of dawn. Yeah.
All right, I just didn't know the name. Yeah, no, I'm familiar.
Yeah. It'd be really hard not to know that song if you're anywhere around. Like, if you are a millennial, you probably know that song.
You probably heard it at some point.
And we are, in fact, millennials. God damn it.
Such a dirty word now.
I know. But actually, I think it's getting rehabbed. My understanding is that Gen Z kind of stands us a little bit, which is nice. Like, they're not ripping us so hard on TikTok like they used to. I think they're coming to grips with the term that all the shit that they thought they hated about us was actually about, like, Gen X and Boomers.
Well, yeah, that, and also Gen Z is actually starting to hit puberty, so. Burn, got him! No, but for real, they're starting to mature a little bit, so maybe... Yeah. I mean, it's mostly Boomers that nobody likes.
Henry, I think you are Gen X. I think you're right. I think you're Gen X. But you don't come across as disaffected as Gen X generally is rumored to be. And honestly, the only generation I really have a problem with is the Boomers, because we can literally... I don't think Gen X really... I don't think I could put my finger on things Gen X did that hurt me. But I can put my finger on things Boomers have done that hurt me. Like student loans.
Like what?
Like student loans.
Oh, well.
Year were you born? I'll tell you what generation you are.
Omar, you're like, ¿cómo se llama? 21? 21 anni mi penso.
I used to speak Italian a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit? Can you understand what I was saying there? You understood what I was saying there.
Non parlo molto bene, studioso scuola e
2 anni. See, hey, look, man, I went to high school and I didn't learn shit. When I speak, I'm speaking because my family's from there, and
my family's Irish, so.
so you speak the language of drank.
Yeah, I mean, I like my family were mummers and shit, dude. Like I got 2 streeters in the family.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Now we might have a problem because 2 streeters and me never got along.
I didn't say I like them. I just said I'm related to them. Ask me how long it's been since I've talked to them, and I think we'll be chill.
I want to say 15 years
Oh, at least.
at least.
At least.
Look,
Not
you,
my,
you know
not-
what, man? And
No offense to any of them who ever watch this.
no, I was about to
of
say like
course.
mummers are such a they're such a it's a confounding thing for me because
No, I think the mummers are problematic, and I'm cool with bashing them. I think by and large
Yeah.
they are bad
that's what-
for us.
that's what I was about to say. Like the uniqueness of mummers to Philadelphia, especially for New Year's, is awesome. Their
Yeah.
history and especially what they've been doing in the past few years and what they've gotten away with in the past.
I don't know how many times we need to see blackface, brownface, or redface before we stop letting them get away with it.
Oh, but they do more than that. And then the funny thing is, that
And
a
the
lot of them are also-
homophobia. Oh my god.
I was about to say a lot of them are homophobic, and yet they willingly dress up as wenches.
And they're talking about doing a parade against ordinance in Philly this year.
They can have fun with that.
I mean, it'll get shut down. And also, like I did when I was a child, I did a parade one year. I did a year as a wench, and I was
Nice.
I was like 12, and it's the reason why to this day I know it's bullshit, because I was 12 and I got handed a full bottle of Sambuca and told to party. So no, fuck
Sambuca?
Sambuca, yeah. So no, fuck them.
If anybody doesn't know, Sambuca is like fucking fennel liquor, and it is.
Definitely
That
not
shit.
something you should be drinking out of the bottle.
Yeah, not for anybody, not just a 12-year-old. Like nobody should be drinking that.
Blooms,
yeah,
thank you for
man.
the subscription again. That's so.
So yeah, like I always loved the mummers when I was a kid just because of how cool it was. But then I started to see the cracks as I got older, and now it's like this thing where it's like, no,
Yeah,
especially
no.
like they were and they've often found themselves on the wrong side of history.
Sweaters for Goats says, not for 12-year-olds. That's what Sambuca is.
to
You're not wrong. You're not wrong
you're
at
not.
all. Definitely
be
on,
honest with you.
on the nose. And also, like, it's a liqueur. It's
Yeah.
you're not supposed to just drink liqueur. It's for
Nope.
mixing.
For mixing with other stuff. Yeah, see, like this is the crazy shit that my family would do. They would have it in their.
Oh, wait, hold on real quick. I just to see if this is true. It looks like somebody just became my new stream boss. Yeah, congratulations, Blooms. You're the new boss of the stream. Just for anyone who doesn't know, we have a boss battle thing where if you tip via my Streamlabs link or follow or subscribe via my Streamlabs link, you take it counts as an attack against the stream boss. They lose hit points. Whoever deals the killing blow to the previous stream boss becomes the new stream boss. I remember one day our friend Doc Rock donated $250 in one go and killed himself.
Killed himself.
Yeah, he was the stream boss both before and after that, because I think the total amount to reset is like $100 or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's congrats. You're the stream boss until someone gets you. Anything you do takes points away from the stream boss. Cheer, tips, bits, all of it.
Nice. Groovy.
I don't know a ton about. Like, I don't know if I'm twitching good or not, really, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of like hanging out and doing my thing.
You and me both, man. You
figure it
and
out.
me 100% both. Like,
All right, I have a industry question for you.
Okay, I have an industry answer for you.
Where and what's your process of seeking the work like?
That's a loaded question. So
I know, and feel free to not give away secrets that are important to you or whatever. But you
it's not like a secret. It's now preface before we go into it any further. If anybody is interested in how to get further into this sort of stuff, look up www.iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. That was made by the legendary D. Bradley Baker. If you've ever
Whoa.
watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, he was Appa and Momo. He was the Gravemind in Halo, in the original Halo series.
That's
He's
like an
on
Alan
Million and
Tudyk
everything.
level. I can do weird animal noises.
Yeah, that's his thing. Like he's an actor. He was an on-camera actor, and he's done like other things. He's Varix in Destiny 2 and Destiny 1, I guess. But yeah, he's done a lot of stuff, and that answers all your questions. Now, as far as getting work goes, and this is also techniques that I've learned from like people who've been in the industry like 10 plus years and are very successful. I go to pay-to-play sites a lot. So websites like voices.com or other ones, like they have to find which one works for you.
Yep.
You pay a subscription fee for the year and you audition. And that's how I found Warframe.
I'm on things like that as a session singer, and
110%,
at minimum
and-
at minimum I'm losing a commission for everything.
Right, right, and that's the thing. So it's a balance. Is it worth it? So like for the subscription I have for voices, I pay $400 a year, and I can make that back in like a job or two,
Yeah.
done and over, and it pays for itself.
Yeah.
But now with the new demo that I just had made, that I just shelled out a lot of money for, but it was a very good demo made by a very awesome big name in the industry. Now I can start hitting up agencies, and I freelance with a few agencies, but nothing serious. We're just playing around for a little foreplay. But if I do sign with an agency, then they will bring work to me, and it depends on a whole bunch of things with exclusivity.
Yeah.
If I sign
That
with a
giggle
certain
wasn't for you, by the way. That was just because somebody in your chat went something honor.
Oh, it was steel.
I know,
You
and we're just immediately we're at Dante Bosco in my brain, and I
Yeah.
can't turn it off now.
Dude, it's Prince Zuko. Yeah, dude, Dante Bosco, by the way. Dante Bosco is one of those kinds of voice actors where he has one voice and it's his voice, but it's so unique. Like that voice can carry him all the way. and it does.
Yep. The opposite of the other guy that got called out in the chat is like a Jim Cummings, who is just everything.
I was about to say,
Nolan's one of those guys who has mostly one voice, and it does all the work for him. He's just such a good actor, I think, with it, because like, his Superman and his Nate Drake, it is the same voice. It's just a different personality driving it.
Exactly. I mean, just think about it like it's your regular voice.
Yeah.
If I am, reading lines, or if I'm acting in a scene with the express intent of killing someone who doesn't know it's coming, the way I'm going to sound is going to sound very different than if I see an old friend and I haven't seen them in years, and they bring back all the old memories. Those two different. That's why the acting is most important.
Yes.
That's why acting is most important, because it's not so much the voice. Like you can do a great voice. Now I got slapped on the wrist for this one when I was working with Bob on Saturday. Great voice is great. Acting first, then the voice. Or acting, the voice will come out naturally. It's not something you have to worry about.
Dane, Base Squids. Yeah, dude, he's the voice of Superman and Connor in Young Justice.
That's awesome.
I did not know that he did the singing of Be Prepared when Jeremy Irons lost his voice. That Jim Cummings? Yeah, that would be Jim Cummings.
Really?
Jim Cummings is also Ed the Hyena, and then more recently, he's the Firefly Ray in The Princess and the Frog.
No shit?
Yeah. But yeah, Nolan North is Superman in Young Justice, and he's also Superboy.
That's wild. Nolan North gets around. He's prolific. Give me 1 second.
Do you think-
Omar. Violetto, Gazzo, Santa Maria. Violetto mo. Omar never likes to go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. over there, and he's teasing about it. Like, oh, I'm still up. Go to bed.
Gilbert
Go to
Gottfried
bed.
is another great example of a guy who's got one voice, but it works for whatever you need him for.
Exactly.
If you need that voice, he's the only one you're gonna get it from.
But those are becoming increasingly rare too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And see, the thing is, you also got to be careful because
Clancy
now I can do
Brown.
the. What happened?
Clancy Brown, I love his voiceover work.
Yes.
Gargoyles, man.
Dude, I remember
Lex
when I was
Luthor.
watching. I remember when. First of all, that's Keith David. That guy's voice is amazing. But I remember watching.
Clancy's in there too. He's
Is
yeah. He's in Gargoyles. He's just not Goliath.
Wait a minute. Vai cazzo corcata, managgia. Cazzo male occupato. Che do parole?
See, my Italian is
Sticky
limited
Talma.
to Maron.
Well, I was also speaking a dialect, which is
Calabrese,
very
yeah.
different. Yeah, the Calabrese, so it's very different. But, so I remember I was watching the first season of The Mandalorian, and it was that scene with that big red devil guy, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this guy sounds so familiar. Within 5 minutes, I'm like, that's fucking Clancy Brown, isn't it? Looked at the end, Clancy Brown. I'm like, I knew it.
Always, yeah.
Freaking
Clancy Brown.
You can hear him.
In
He always
in
mixed with
Gargoyles, he's
crabs.
the voice of Hakon.
Really? Dude,
Yeah.
It's so weird because that's another thing you're talking about. His voice is mainly his voice.
Yeah, like
But
Keith
he's
David.
Mr. Krabs. He's Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
That's bizarre.
But then he can do like all these other like big scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does. That's the thing he's most famous for. Well, and so it's funny because it was years before I connected Clancy Brown's voice, but it had always tickled and itched my brain whenever I heard him at all. But it was because he's the Kurgan from Highlander first for me.
Yeah.
So I always connect him first to a live action role. where he was
God, that was such a bad role.
So
the whole
bad.
movie was so tacky.
so bad. Hey, wait, can you entertain my chat for like 30 seconds? They've made me hydrate so much. I've got to take a 2-second break.
And now you know why I avoided it. But yes, please, I got you. I got
All
you
right,
covered.
guys, I'm leaving you in his very capable hands. He's gonna entertain you for 2 seconds.
Here we go. Richard Stephen Horvitz, isn't that the Vader Zim, dude? God, he's another one who has like one voice and one voice only, but he uses it so damn well. What about that? Hello, like money? Yes. Whoa, you guys are going fast. Starship Troopers. Brown wasn't Starship Troopers, wasn't he? He going drink. Wait, can I Omar, don't hydrate him. They already hydrated him to the point where he has to pee in the middle of his stream. Don't do that. Hi, Robin. You mean how? Don't tell him how. Vai corcata, manage. So everybody in that is part of Bright's thing. This is my face. Hi, my followers don't often get to see my face, obviously, because I'm a voice actor. And even when I stream, I don't put my face up on stream because who the hell needs to look at this mug? So, hi, nice to meet you. I'm doing my best impression of a Greek statue. Is it working? No, don't hydrate him, Steel. Stop. No. Oh, man. Yeah, I know. If you drown him, then he won't be able to sing. Have you ever taken over the voice of an existing character that's been done by someone else? If so, how do you approach that? You know what? I haven't. However, I was talking to Bob Bergen about this, and someone asked him, and he's like, I don't even pay attention to what the other person did. He asks the team, the producer, what they want, and he gives them their own unique. He's like, you probably should like look at it and just get an idea, but he's like, then forget about it. You want to give your own unique voice for something like that. That's how you approach that. And if they don't like it, well, then why did they approach you? Then find another job. You can try to make it match if that's what they really want, especially if the money's really good. But if it's something that big, you're going to want to bring something unique that you have based on their direction.
Did you ever see that one scene from A League of Their Own?
Which one?
I just had to go take a leak, man. I mean that scene.
Oh, that scene. Yes. No, I have. That was one of my favorite ones where he just walks in and takes the longest piss of his life. Drinking more. See, did they hydrate
because two
you, or
people
is
just
that
redeemed
a-
hydrate again.
They're gonna fucking kill you, man, and I'm sorry about this. It was nice to meet you. I'm sorry we couldn't become better friends because my fucking chat's gonna kill you.
So they said, how do you know he's not a wonderful fishman who needs water?
Wonderful fishman.
Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc may be the most famous voice actor in history, right?
Ever, yeah. Wait, so you shared my face on Instagram. Oh, thank you.
I did that a little while ago too, and I shared that art thing that I really liked that celebrated your work as Erra. I really liked that. That was cool. That art piece that the fan did for you.
Yes, dude. There's a lot of those.
Man, if anybody ever feels like drawing my redheaded ass self, go check out like my Instagram or watch back streams of my show. This is like really normal. On my performance nights, I'm usually wearing really dramatic makeup.
Yeah.
And crazy outfits.
Channeling like your inner Bowie and Prince at the same time.
Always. Every chance I get.
You got like the
Steel Rose hasn't seen my legs and is not convinced that it's not just a big fish.
Stood up. Shut up, Steel. Funny balls.
Hey man, if anybody draws me, I promise I will share, shout, follow all the stuff. I love when people do fan art of me. It's only happened a couple times, but it's amazing. And yeah, Henry made me into a cover of a PS4 game.
That's amazing.
It was so cool.
Are these up on your Instagram? That
one was up on my Twitter. It still is up on my Twitter. I just don't know how far back you have to go to find it. But
I'll find it.
I'll Henry tweet it at me again, and I'll just retweet it so it's at the top.
Also, technically, the Gorillas is a mix between singing and voice acting, which is true. Did you know?
Okay,
that
so
the Gorillas,
pop
the
quiz.
singers and the voice actors are different.
Pop quiz. The voice of 2D. What else is he famous for?
You mean the speaking voice of 2D or the singing voice?
Damon
The singing
Albarn.
voice is Damon Albarn. Yeah, he's done a million things. I mean, what hasn't he? God, first of all, he was in Blur.
That's
obviously.
the one. That's the only one that matters. Blur.
Well, yeah, I know that.
For
How
anyone
could you
who
miss
doesn't
that?
know, before he was in Gorillaz, Damon Albarn was the
Song 2.
Why can't I play it? I'm a little out of tune right now too. But anyway, the woohoo! That song.
Song 2, yeah. But now I gotta listen to Song 2 again.
I feel like when I was a kid, I couldn't understand any of the lyrics to that song. I just felt them all in my soul anyway.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
was
like,
about to say, I still don't know exactly what he's saying, but
when I feel
love
heavy metal and I'm pins and I'm needles. That's what it is. It's woohoo! When I feel heavy metal, woohoo! And I'm pins and I'm needles.
Huh.
Yeah, weird, right?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm a huge fan of Gorillaz and his later work in Gorillaz.
Oh my god, so much.
Because there's so much, a lot of the lyrics that they have there. They're like, hey, let's just like get the cool shoe shine. And I thought that was a joke. And they're like, no, that was the thing. I'm like, why did they do that? And they're like, because why not? Very experimental. So they're like, all right, fuck it.
Was that trivia question for either of us? Because I know the answer, Doc. Doc asked, who did Clarence Nash voice? I know that one off the top of my head.
I don't. Who?
Clarence Nash. I can't do the voice even a little to hint you. I can't, there's no way to hint. There's no way to hint that I can't impersonate the voice even a little. It's Donald Duck.
Oh yeah, dude. No, I couldn't do that. Oh my god, I don't know how he did that.
Neither do I. Tom Cruise can do it though.
Really?
Yeah, there's a video of him on the Graham Norton show. He does a really, really good Donald Duck impersonation. All he does is sneeze as Donald Duck, and he gets it that fast. Like, it's perfect. And it's one of those things where, like, Kevin Pollak, who is a really tremendous impersonator and voice actor, and real actor, you guys would all recognize his face, but Kevin Pollak does a lot of impression games with his friends, and he does what are called idiolect impressions, where he impersonates one famous person's. It's like the guy who did JFK in Clone High. JFK, that's not an accent, that's an idiolect. It's a Boston accent, sure, but there's way more going JFK than just doing there's more into it than an accent. And he plays this game where you have to do a celebrity impression, but you got to get it across with one word, and you have to not use a word that person is famous for saying. So, like, it'd be like doing Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you can't say any word. You can't say tumor or something, or chopper, you know?
Or that counts too. That's
right. Well, he's at a really easy. But the challenge was the challenge I saw was Liam Neeson, and he just went,
wow.
He went, banana.
Nah,
pretty good.
That's fucking wonderful.
It's pretty
That's
good.
a good game to play.
I agree. Do you know what's funny, man? I always hedge my bets on when I bring people in for these and go, it'll be like an hour or until we feel like we don't have much stuff to talk about. And we have not had that trouble tonight at all.
Nope. In fact, I was like, maybe I should cut it off at some point because I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I gotta get
right.
ready for
Well,
the
that's what I was
stream.
getting at. Is we're now actually even over my normal show time a little bit, which is fine. But I was gonna say, do me a favor. Let's do. Oh yeah, there you go. The chat now has the link of my my PS4.
There it is.
My PS4 cover that Henry did for me on Instagram.
That's awesome.
And I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's actually the day that I opened for Young the Giant. That was the day we did the concert with Young the Giant.
That's cool.
And Matt and Kim. That was a super cool night. And that was the day
By the way,
my
I meant
band
to ask
started
you-
wearing war paint.
When you opened for Matt and Kim, where was it? It
That
wasn't
was
in Atlantic
Winterjohn.
City, was it?
No, that was at Winterjohn.
Okay.
They were on the
I was
bill
about
at
to say, 'cause I saw
Winterjohn
them
with us.
at Atlantic City. I was like, how mind-blowing would that be if
The
I saw
only
you?
Atlantic City cover gig I did was I opened for a 90s one-hit wonder that I actually kind of love called Jimmy's Chicken Shack in Atlantic City last year.
Why does that sound familiar?
They did that song. The song was huge for like 5 minutes in the MTV like TRL era. He had that song that was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do right? And it was like this goofy pop punk thing. And it was
Yeah.
right around the time. It was right around the time that like Green Day's second album was blowing up, or not second album, third album. It was like around the like Nimrod or whatever.
Right,
Like late 90s, early 2000s or something. And they had this one song that blew up, and I loved it for whatever reason. And then we opened for them in Atlantic City, like right next to Ripley's Believe It or Not. There's a
Oh my
anchor.
god. Yeah.
There were like 45 people in the audience. It was a weird night. But yeah, what I actually wanted you to do was just because we got to start winding it down so you can go eat dinner and I can go eat dinner. But clearly you're gonna have to come back on the show again, or I'm gonna have to come over to your show.
110%.
But plug for us. Just do the plug thing, and if there are like links or social things you'd like people to follow, or places that you'd like to have my people follow if they're not already doing it. Let's get that stuff. We've done very little to promote you. And a lot of just hanging out.
It's all good. That's what I prefer. That's the way. That's how you build a community and you make new friends. So, all right. Robin, you're gonna have to help me out with this because you're fast on the trigger. No child's play. Stop.
I don't know what child's play is, but
it was a charity that I was running a charity stream for with my stream team, and she was abusing the control just to help me get as much money. We had a $200 goal from me. We wound up getting $611 within a week.
That's awesome.
And I believe the entire team pulled like.
I miss being able to fundraise for other people. I'm literally running a fundraiser for me right now.
Keep you alive.
It's really depressing.
Me too, man.
So you can't post. I can. Yeah, they say that I don't let people post links because we had some shit happen. But I'll post the links as they're being talked about. I'll hunt them down.
All right.
I already know AntonioGTheVoice.com, right?
Yes, that is. I mean, I am also a voice actor for hire. Don't think that I'm like too big or whatever. Like, if you got a job for me, come talk to me.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can work out. But yeah, I am here on Twitch. That's at twitch.tv, / The Real Space Uncle. In fact, let me just say hi so you can see me in the chat, and then you know where to watch me, because I will be streaming later on tonight at 10:30 tonight. I'll be streaming Warframe with my girlfriend and my stream team, like
Nice.
Sweaters for Goats. Brittany will be there. My buddy Sam might be there. We're like a little team that we got going on here. Also, I am on Twitter, and I believe it's Twitter at Antonio the Voice. And I am also on Instagram, not as much as I used to be because things have been slow since, I don't go anywhere interesting anymore. I just exist in a house like we all do. But I am on Instagram at audio_graffiti. You can find me there as well.
Oh, and then what's your Discord?
Oh yeah. That's
Do you have a short link for that?
I can get one.
I was gonna say, get if you want a Discord drop, and then my Discord drop I'm putting in the chat right now, guys. Go slide into my server now, and let's just all be let's just turn the Venn diagram of Antonio's crew and my crew into a circle.
Yep, let's do it. So let me see. Where is my community? I have so many Discords.
Yeah,
active.
yeah. My Discord is called Red Tower Records, which is my vanity label. And I just dropped the link for that. And then if you get a short link, just send it to me on send it to me on Messenger, and I'll throw in the link for you. Merge the crews. That was your people again.
All right, so here we go, and yeah, I will send it. Do you mind if I send it here or in the?
Oh,
chat?
duh! I forgot there is a Zoom chat. Yeah, do that.
Yes. So here goes. I just made the new Discord link. There, that is. And yeah, and my Discord's active. In fact, most of the people that you guys are seeing here talk tonight are also
my
active.
Discord's
and I already
like
joined yours.
My Discord is sometimes really active and other times not. It really varies. But when it's active, it gets really fun and weird.
Exactly.
We'll regularly start talking about like a TV show and just get crazily sidetracked. And then we also have a pretty active political channel where we talk about the state of the world.
Right, which I tried. I had to avoid that only because like. Blah, blah,
I understand why you would have to avoid that. I really do, based on where you're.
But it is interesting. In fact, we have a whole Discord thing going on where a couple of my people would like to send pizza, the like cursed pizza images, just to fuck with me and make my blood curdle. So that's a whole thing. And I have followed you on Discord now too.
Sweet.
So yeah, man, I would love to come back, dude. This was freaking awesome.
Well,
I didn't know what
then like for sure.
expect,
We'll
but
talk about it.
I am sorry I ever doubted you.
You did you doubt me? I don't think I ever
You
doubted
broke
you.
up hardcore right there. I'm sorry.
That's so funny. Way I can put things over your face by mistake. I didn't realize that.
Oh, you almost completely froze on my screen.
Yeah, I opened something and it went wacky. I shouldn't have opened a thing. That's just because I'm running on everything on one computer, and it's a very, very robust computer, but it's one computer, and it was because I tried to join your Discord during the stream. But all right, we're gonna Philly Johns are the best Johns. So that's what's in your pocket.
They're the only Johns.
There are Philly Johns in the chat besides the Antonio crew too. Just so you guys know, we're the Lamplighters are also based in Gritty City, USA.
Hell yeah.
Doc Rock Your Guru says, "What's in the box?" Now
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
I was gonna say that's a vocal impression that most people probably are familiar with, because you can't just say, "Oh, what's in the box?" It's "What's in the box?" Like, you got to do the thing.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? It's great.
And it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Or Jersey adjacent. But hey, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. I think we're officially friends now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
110%.
We're buddies now.
We have become buddies now, and we will get drinks, and we will be loud, and we'll talk about nerd shit, and that's just how it's gonna be.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna say good night to Antonio, and then I'm gonna do a quick wrap on my stream, so that you guys know what's coming up on Thursday and stuff like that. But let's say peace out to our new boy Antonio. Thank you so much for stopping by, dude.
Thanks for having me, man. Goodbye, chat. See you guys later. I'll hit you up, man. I'll thank you properly.
Yeah, we'll talk real soon.
All right, take care of yourself, bud.
Yeah, later, bud. All right. Let me get my shit back up. That's not what I want. You go away. You come back. And then there we go. So, that was a really fun Monday method, I think, guys. I had a ball with that one. Polite Guitar Man. I'll take that. My name's Bright. It's written right here. That's actually my name. And also, if you want to follow me on social, it's always that, at BrightKelly19 on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. Pretty much if I have a social media account, it's always at BrightKelly19. That's always what it's going to be. And I don't think I've ever been called polite. That's not my brand. I'm kind of a... Yeah, I don't know. That's a new one for me, but I'll take it. So anyway, guys, Thursday is Thanksgiving, so there isn't going to be a show on Thursday, but I'm going to surprise you guys all. Actually, it's not a surprise. We already know about it, but there will be a Wednesday stream this week. So the day before Thanksgiving, I'm coming on for a show, and here's me being polite. My Wednesday stream is called We Are So Fucking Thankful. And I'll be coming on here Wednesday night to do songs about feeling thankful or things like that. I don't know. It's whatever that theme means to you guys. And of course, jump over to Discord to the Jukebox Zero stream and make your requests there if you want. Okay, yeah, I'll do a Bowie outro song. I'll do a Bowie outro song. I'll do. I wasn't planning to, but sure, why the hell not? I'll do one that we like. I'll do an obvious one. Yeah, we'll do one more song to close things down for the night, and then we'll say goodnight to you guys. But I'll close it down with a Bowie song. Why not? We opened with a Bright Kelly song. We'll close with a Bowie song. That sounds perfect. And I'll pick a classic just so that we all kind of know it a little bit. I wish I had a bottle cap taped to the bottom of my foot for this one. I wish you could swim like the dolphins can swim. Though nothing will keep us together, yeah, we can be them forever and ever. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day. I will be king. You will be queen. For nothing will drive them away. We can be heroes just for one day. We can be honest just for one day. And I will be king, and you will be queen. For nothing will drive them away. We can be heroes just for one day. We can be us just for one day. Oh, and I can remember standing by the wall, and the guards shot over our heads, and we kissed, oh, as though nothing could fall, and the shame was on the other side. We can be them forever and ever, yes. Then we can be heroes just for one day. Oh, nah. We can be heroes just for one day. We can be heroes just for one day. Thank you guys for joining me on the Monday Method. I will catch you guys on Wednesday this week for Songs from the Big Chair. Thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing, for tipping, for all the things, and thank you to my guest Antonio Greco for hanging out with me for the last couple of hours. We will be back again on Thursday with a lot more, and that's gonna be an all music show. So stop back out and let's have some fun together. I really appreciate you guys coming by and helping to blow my chat up, and I will catch you all here on Twitch or on Discord or on TikTok or wherever you want. It's been a really great night, and I'm sorry if you are showing up at the end of it, but please go back and watch the replay. That'll be up really soon, and I will catch you guys all at the next show. Thank you so much.